All right, we are live on YouTube. Welcome to Navigating the Modern World with Coach Eli. Glad you could all join me here tonight for this very special live stream. I haven't gone live in quite some time because I've been preparing for this very special show that is going to clear a lot of things up for those of you that are a part of what's known as the gig economy. If you are a DoorDash driver, Uber Eats driver, Grubhub driver, etc., Instacart, whatever, you're going to want to watch this show the entire way through, whether you're here live or on the replay, because I'm going to be sharing a lot of information that other creators are just not completely sharing. I've done a lot of research. I've created a lot of postings on Reddit, and I've commented on many other channels that create gig economy content, particularly pertaining to DoorDash. And you're just not going to believe your eyes here tonight. So stick around for that. Before we get to all of that, though, since it's been a while since I've done this, let me make sure that the notification has gone out. And it looks like it absolutely has. Let me also check out the back end of YouTube and make sure that everything is rolling smoothly. And it looks like it absolutely is. And let me do a sound check just to make sure my sound is good. Driver, Grubhub driver, etc., Instacart, whatever. You're going to want to watch this show. Oh, yeah. Sounds great. Sounds great. I love the Shure SM7B. Wonderful, wonderful microphone. Anyway, we're not here to talk about microphones. We're here tonight to talk about what DoorDash drivers are really dealing with in 2023 and Fluffer DoorDash content creators exposed. One more time, the title of tonight's show is What DoorDash Drivers Are Really Dealing With in 2023 and Fluffer DoorDash content creators exposed. Here's how tonight's show is going to go. It's going to be about 2 hours long or so. I'm going to take a break at about the 1 hour mark and play some wonderful royalty-free YouTube music that's safe from copyright and demonetization. But during the first part of the show, I'm going to start off by sharing some feedback regarding what some other content creators have been putting out here on DoorDash, particularly one content creator that goes by the name of Pedro DoorDash Santiago. Pedro Santiago is somebody that I've been following for a few months. I've only been a part of the gig economy for a couple of months, but I've already learned the ropes. I've already learned how the system works, and that's because I've been an entrepreneur for over 15 years myself. So I always look for good opportunities, and let me start off by sharing why first of all I decided to get into the gig economy. If you haven't been following me for a while, my girlfriend moved in to my place several months ago. And my girlfriend, I'm 49 years old. She's 47. She's been dealing with some complications that have been plaguing her, for at least most of her adult life. She has some horrible sinus issues. She has horrible allergies. She's also had some seizures lately. And, I've been trying to find her the right doctors and get her the right medical care. And she has not been able to work for the last, I would say, about eight or 9 months or so. And it's because we've been trying to figure out what's going on. I mean, and she hasn't been driving either. We don't want her driving or working because if she has a seizure while she's driving or she's working, it could be catastrophic. And I've been trying to prevent that. But there are still expenses involved for both her and I. And in order to make up for, her not having an income right now, I decided to, do the gig economy thing, DoorDash, Uber Eats, etc. Right? And initially, the first I'd say month or so, maybe first 5 weeks or so, was really, really good. I started mid-December, and December was great. And the first 2 weeks of January was great. Maybe the first 3 weeks of January was really, really good. Had a really good run. I made $500 to $700 most weeks, and 1 week I made over $1,000. And I was like, wow, this is really, really great. Now, I was putting in 8 to 10 to 12 hours a day to make that kind of money. And I had no problem doing it because at that point, the orders were consistent. But something happened the last week of January. Now, a lot of people that I followed out here on YouTube say that January is the slowest month for DoorDash and the gig economy, right? And I can understand that. But something happened the last week of January, that many people were saying is completely different than anything they've ever seen DoorDash do before. And basically, I went from making $500 to $700 to $1,000 a week to making a couple $100 a week. And now I'm struggling to even pull that. It's just been insane. And I'm not going to get into detail on that right now at the beginning of the show because I have a bunch of Reddit postings I made over the past week where I posed these questions to other people in a few DoorDash forums on Reddit to see what they would say. Because, hey, I can come out here and, shoot from my hip, right? And just say whatever. But what if I have supporting, content such as other people sharing their thoughts and having similar experiences? So, I made those postings and many people commented and I responded to their comments. And I've been going back and forth with many people through a couple of DoorDash forums on Reddit. And I'm going to go through all those postings and comments here tonight so you folks see exactly what's going on. Tonight, if you're a DoorDash driver or an Uber Eats driver or Grubhub driver, but more so if you're a DoorDash driver, because DoorDash is the largest food delivery, gig app, company out there. They've got I believe over 60% market share. And then Uber Eats, I think, is a distant second with 20 to 25% market share. So, if you're a DoorDash driver tonight, you're gonna hear and see some things that may not surprise you, but other creators are just not talking about. Let's see. My ladies in the chat, first and foremost, respectfully, maturely, and professionally, she's here to mod the chat. She goes, looking forward to this, babe. You absolutely know what's going on out there. Love you too, babe. Thank you so much. Furthermore, my lady says, hit that thumbs up and subscribe. Yeah, subscribe, bang the bell, and select all notifications. Also, make sure you go to my main channel. Go over to my main channel, Coach Eli, Elias, Melas. Nightbot's sharing the link in the chat every 7 minutes, or just go to youtube.com/lifecoacheli. That's youtube.com/lifecoacheli. Let's see. Information Man Show, how you doing, brother? Welcome to the show. Peace and respect. Information Man Show is a great guy that also lives here in Northern California. He runs a talk show based out of Sacramento, California, where he lives. For those of you that don't know, I'm in the San Francisco Bay Area, Northern California, Redwood City to be exact, which is on the San Francisco Peninsula. And Information Man Show is only a couple hundred miles, 100 miles east of me in Sacramento. Welcome to the show, Information Man Show. Thank you so much for being here. So tonight, I'm going to be discussing what other content creators are putting out as content out here on YouTube, and my thoughts on, my thoughts and feelings on, are they doing the right thing? Are they helping, new drivers, or, long-term drivers figure out better ways to navigate, the DoorDash system? Or are they just creating fluffer content to get more views and subs and monetize YouTube, right? And look, let me be very clear here. I'm a very, very positive guy. I'm a very positive person, and I believe in positivity. That's one thing that the Pedro DoorDash Santiago channel has been preaching lately, is positivity, right? And I'm all for that. But at the same time, you got to keep it real. right? You can't go out there and be all goo goo gaga positive and then blow smoke up people's asses with a bunch of fluff. Just keep them around to get views and subscribers and maybe super chats and stuff like that, right? Okay, you got to keep it real. So I'm about being positive and keeping it real. Okay, and just to make it very clear, I've been trolled heavily out here on YouTube for the new people that are going to be joining the stream here tonight. There are a lot of people that have been trolling me for years out here on YouTube, and we've got moderators here that will just squash them. We're not going to acknowledge them. We're just going to ban them. If you see them in the chat, just ignore them. We want to keep this positive, and we want to make this a positive learning experience. But we're going to keep it real also at the same time. So, bye-bye, Mr. Troll. Oh, man. Let's see here. So yeah, we're gonna keep it positive, but we're also gonna keep it real. And this is not to bash anyone. It's not to bash DoorDash. It's not to be negative. It's more about keeping it real and putting out the honest, authentic information that I feel DoorDash and some other content creators are not putting out. Folks, you have to understand, especially in this day and age where the economy, has gone down the toilet, okay? People are going to do whatever it takes to make money. And if they can get you to believe in what they're saying or doing and you buy into it with a bunch of fluff, that's going to be another revenue source for them. Now, I'm all for people making money legitimately, but if they're going to, trick you or manipulate you into believing one thing when their intentions are another thing, I'm going to call that out. Hold on a second here. Ooh, okay, I thought I ruined my video link there. No, I'm still good. Okay. All right, so let's go ahead and get right to it. I'm going to switch on over to the browser source and go over the first of many Reddit postings and other YouTube channel comments I'm going to be reading to you folks here tonight. So let's do that. Where are we? Okay, there we are. All right, so 11 days ago, I just said, you know what? I'm going to start posting. I've been on Reddit for a while, but I haven't been heavily active. But because of what's happened on DoorDash and being a part of the gig economy, I started becoming very, very active. And 11 days ago, I made this posting. This is from the subreddit r_DoorDash_drivers. And the title of this posting was, "So far, it's been very slow on Super Bowl Sunday." I went out to Dash on Super Bowl Sunday, figuring that, hey, people are going to be home watching the game, and they're going to be ordering DoorDash, Uber Eats. They're going to have food delivered. But boy, oh boy, was I wrong. I wrote, how has your day been so far? Anyone busy, or are you slow in your area as well? I'm in the San Francisco Bay Area. And let's see below. Slow AF in Austin. And I wrote back and said, yeah, I don't get it. I've never seen it this slow. Maybe people are just tired of all the fees and going to get their food themselves. This doesn't seem sustainable anymore. At the hotspot where I hang out in San Carlos, California, there's a Wingstop. And I got one Wingstop order. And I went in there and I had been in there many times prior, like over the past weeks. So I knew all the employees, and I was saying, is it slow here for you guys today? Like, I haven't had a lot of business. He goes, see all these tables here? They were all full earlier. I said, well, people must have been coming in to either pick up their orders, or there were other drivers that were getting these orders before me, right? So my thought is that people are getting tired of all the fees, and they were coming into the restaurants to pick up the orders themselves. Slow in Chicago too. It's ridiculous. And then I wrote back and said, I think DoorDash has screwed things up with the algorithm lately. It's never, ever been this bad. Now, I know I've only been a part of, DoorDash and the gig economy for a couple of months, but I know other people that have done it, and I've seen the forums for many years. I did a lot of research on this, and everyone has been saying it has never, ever been this bad. And it all started going downhill, at least for me, the last week of January. And it's continued and gotten even worse for the first, what is it now? We're in the third week of February. We're in the fourth week of February. Yeah, for all of February, it's been really horrible. Yeah, something's happening. I'm always getting notifications that it's busy, and then I'll open the app and the map will be gray, meaning that it's not busy. I hope they fix it. I don't understand how this helps them in the long run if this is their new business strategy. We'll get to their business strategy in just a bit. I want to read some more of these comments to you folks. Let me see here. All right. They don't need to fix anything. There's 100,000 dashers in Chicago. It's slow and will always be slow. Oversaturated, get used to it. And that's probably one of the biggest problems, is that DoorDash doesn't have a wait list like Grubhub has and some other companies have. And, they're just extremely overly saturated. And some person says, LMFAO, someone is big mad. I'm not mad. I'm just stating the facts. I'm just looking to get feedback from other people that may be experiencing the same thing. Just being real. Good luck to you. Okay. Good luck to you as well, comrade. Okay. Taller Girl Mom says, my area keeps toggling from dark red to gray, meaning that it's very busy to no business at all. And back to dark red. That doesn't even make any sense. I guess dark red now means one order. Yeah, it probably does. I think what DoorDash is trying to do is always have a bunch of drivers out there as much as possible in case orders come up. Because a lot of the orders that DoorDash has been putting out lately are lowball orders where the customers don't tip. And those orders get declined a lot. So I think what DoorDash is doing is saying, well, if we have 100 drivers out there and there are 2 crap orders that come through and 98 of them decline, these orders, and then the last 2 take each of the crap orders, then we've delivered the product. That's what I think is going on. And that just really sucks, because that's not a really good way to do business and keep your drivers happy, right? Made $11 in the last hour and a half in Detroit. Yeah, that's how my day kind of went on the Super Bowl. I think I made about $11 every 2 hours or so. That's not good. $5.50 an hour. Steady all day in Michigan. Okay. Well, every market is different. Every market is definitely different. Slow AF in Minnesota. LOL. What a joke. Just got done. Was out for exactly 3 hours. Really didn't plan on going out today, but I decided I'd go out till the game started. I made $65. Only did a few orders that were pretty big with $8 to $10 tips. Mainly Portillo's. What's that? All were within 3 miles of the restaurant, too. I had to decline more than I do on a normal day. Several alcohol orders going to the college by me that I didn't want to risk. Yeah. I've been getting a lot of those lately. Like, I live near Stanford University here in the San Francisco Bay Area. And I always get a lot of, and Stanford is like 12 to 14 miles from me, which is quite a distance. I typically don't like to take orders that are, further than 5 miles away, because then you have the return trip that, you're not making anything on. And if you're out of your zone, like I would be in this case, usually you're not going to have any orders on the way back. You're going to be driving back, losing time, and money, right? And burning more gas, right? So it's not worth it to me to take alcohol orders to go to Stanford University for less than $2 a mile, or sometimes even, $1.20 or $1 per mile. And then you got to go there. You can't find parking. If you double park, you risk getting a ticket. And on top of that, you got to verify ID for alcohol, and it's just a very risky thing. It's a very, very risky thing. So I totally understand that. And then I posted there, finally got a good order. Finally got a good order at 4:05 p.m. Okay, the Super Bowl started at 3:30 Pacific time, 6:30 Eastern. At 4:05 p.m., I finally got a good order. Chipotle, 2 items, 3.6 miles for $14.25. That was the only decent order I got the entire Super Bowl. Besides that, there was not much more after that. I just couldn't believe it. So that's the first posting there. Let me check out the chat here real quick. Feel free to get any of your questions, comments, or concerns in the chat as I go through all of this here. All right. So let's go to the next Reddit posting. Now, in this posting here, I started to ask questions regarding another content creator that's been creating content out here on YouTube regarding the DoorDash space and the gig economy space for the last 2 years. And this guy goes by the name of Pedro Santiago. His channel's name is Pedro DoorDash Santiago. And in the month of January, his channel was the most viewed channel on YouTube regarding, gig economy type of, content, right? And I was following Pedro because Pedro was keeping it real and straightforward. And he wasn't creating any fluff type of content. And I really respect people that give it to me straight, raw, and real. Now, you don't have to, in order to be real and straightforward, you don't have to, be negative about it. You can talk about it in a genuine way. But Pedro, all of a sudden, towards the end of January, especially at the beginning of February, after he saw his channel get more traction, and now he's had all eyes on him, he decided to go on this positivity spiel, saying that I'm going to keep it more positive, I'm going to turn things around, and I'm going to try new things, I'm going to learn to adapt to the new ways DoorDash is doing things. And I was like, cool. And then in addition, Pedro was saying, I'm working on a better, work-personal life balance. He had a daughter with his girlfriend last year. He has a young kid at home. He wants to spend more time with his family. Cool. I've always been about work, personal life balance, and I've always been about adapting and, finding new ways to make things happen, right? And I was cool with that until Pedro wasn't practicing what he's preaching. And that's my problem. I'm going to be straightforward. Like, I have no problems with you, Pedro. I think you're a good guy. And who knows if you're even going to watch this. But I just think you've gotten to the point of where your channel has hit so much traction now, you have to fill it with fluffer content to get more views. And I just think that, you're not practicing what you're preaching. And I have proof of that. I'm going to show the proof. And I'm going to get to that in just a little bit here. First, I'm going to, go over the posting I made regarding Pedro on Reddit and share with you folks what other people were saying. And then I'm going to go to a video that he put out a few days ago where I commented on. And other people were responding to my comments. And I'll let you know in a second if Pedro responded. We'll keep it a secret for right now. But let's get to this Reddit posting here. Once again, from the subreddit DoorDash_drivers. And the title is, do you know who Pedro DoorDash Santiago is, and what are your honest thoughts of him? And I can't believe Reddit removed my posting. I just noticed that today. It's still there because I'm the one who wrote the posting, and they're not going to delete it on my end, but publicly you can't see this anymore. And I don't know why. I wasn't being mean, I was being honest, right? But anyway, maybe Pedro has somebody in his pocket here. Who knows? I'm beginning to think Pedro DoorDash Santiago is full of it when it comes to his stats. He claims to make $200 to $400 daily, and that's in the St. Louis market. I'm in the San Francisco Bay Area and struggling to make $30 to $50 during the lunch rush, and my dinner shifts have been even slower lately. I think Pedro pads his numbers, and since his YouTube channel has taken off, he's more focused on getting tons of views for ad revenue. I'm beginning to not buy his positivity message. I myself am all about positivity, but I am also about keeping it real as well. Give me a second here. His content lately has also been fluffer content and has no value for me anymore. His collab video he just did on the benefits of DoorDash has zero value, at least to me. Who cares about the benefits of DoorDash as we already know them? We just want to learn the best tips on how to make money. That's it. The rest is fluffer material. If Pedro wants to become a motivational speaker and go that route, that's great, but then keep DoorDash's name out of it. I think he's leveraging DoorDash's name, even in the title of his channel, just because he has great SEO. But if you're going to talk about DoorDash and try to help, new and existing drivers and old school drivers, learn how to better adapt the new ways DoorDash is doing them, you got to keep it real. You got to keep it totally real. And it doesn't mean you're being negative if you're keeping it real, right? What Pedro's doing is basically making DoorDash sound like, hey, you know what? Is this really DoorDash's fault, or do we just need to adapt, right? Come on, Pedro. You know what's going on. You know how difficult it is even for you to make that money, even if it's possible for you to make that money in your market, right? Right? It's almost like he's using the DoorDash name for SEO purposes to get more YouTube traction, but in my opinion, this is clickbait. I think Pedro is doing anything he can to make money any way he can before everything implodes for him. Who else has thoughts on this? And that's what a lot of people do. It's like, if you go into these forums, okay, and you watch YouTube videos from other gig economy creators, you will see the majority of people that have been doing DoorDash either semi-part-time or full-time. When I say semi-part-time, some people do it every now and then for a few extra bucks. Some people do it semi-part-time, meaning that, they're not quite full-time, but they're not totally part-time. They're doing it to bring in a little extra money to pay some extra bills each month, right? Okay. If you listen to what those people are saying, okay, that are doing it more on a regular basis and have been doing it for a while, the majority of them say, hey, they're struggling to make even 1/4 of what they were just making last month. So it's really hard for me to believe that, Pedro's market of St. Louis, Missouri is like, the gold rush, the new gold rush. Like we had the gold rush here, in California, right? Now the new gold rush so happens to have landed in St. Louis, Missouri, and Pedro is making $300 to $400 a day. Now he says he's working, 10 to 12 hours a day to do that, but even then, I don't even think it's possible to make $300 to $400 a day on DoorDash. Working those amount of hours anywhere right now, based on the way DoorDash is running their app through their algorithm. But let's read what other people had to say about this. I can make $200 a day if I dash from 11 to 9. Well, that's 10 hours. And below I wrote, that's 10 hours a day and only sustainable for so long. Pedro claims to make close to 200 in 4 to 5 hours. I've never come close. First of all, I've never made $200 in one day. The most I've ever made on DoorDash is $185, and it took me 12 hours to do that in the San Francisco Bay Area, and that was the first week of January. Okay? I go, I'm not buying it. He's not in the large order program. The large order program is like the catering program, right? Where you get bigger orders if you're invited to join the program and you qualify for the program. So I don't know how he's making so much money as quickly as he claims. It doesn't add up for me. And then someone else says, yeah, I'm not buying that. And then below, another person says he claims to never work weekends either. Yeah, give me a second. Let me check out the chat here real quick. Okay. I wrote below that I'm a good guy that's been life coaching business and personal success tips on YouTube for over 6 years. I'm not out here to harm anyone or even talk smack, but when I see things like this, I just have to call it out. I've seen a few small YouTubers call out Pedro in the past, but nothing major lately. It is only a matter of time before more people catch on and expose this. Again, I am a positive guy, and I don't even want to talk smack about Pedro. I really don't, Pedro. I really don't. But this is just very obvious to me. Clickbait and fluffer topics that aren't really helpful at all. In my opinion, his channel has become a kumbaya cheerleader type of channel and is really becoming boring to me as well. Yeah, see, Pedro, I used to enjoy watching your content when you were real and, straightforward and honest, right? Now, all of a sudden, you're preaching positivity, you're preaching work-personal life balance, right? And you're not practicing what you preach, but you're trying to come off that way. And it just really behooves me how many people are buying into it. Now, again, I'm not trying to take anything away from you. I'm just saying, come on, dude. To seasoned veterans, right? Now, I'm not a seasoned veteran of DoorDash. I've only been doing it a couple of months, but I've been an entrepreneur for over 15 years. So I understand what's going on. I've also been on YouTube for over 6 years full time. And, I've been creating content, obviously, out here for 6 years. But I've also been on YouTube I've also been watching YouTube since it came out almost 20 years ago. So, someone like me is going to look at what you're doing compared to what you were doing and kind of really see what's going on, right? But it amazes me how many people just haven't picked up on this yet. The next person below, Single Calligrapher 5, says, I agree with you. He's not telling me anything I don't already know, and he's repetitive. Of course he is. He's trying to get clicks because all eyes are on him. His channel blew up with views in January because he was being real at that point. He wasn't fluffing anything. He was giving it to us straight. And then he became this rah-rah, shish kumbaya, my lord type of creator that isn't practicing what he's preaching, right? And it's just weird to me, right? But people are buying into it. It's just funny, right? He isn't really even good for beginners, in my opinion. No, what are they going to learn? To take all the crap orders and not be profitable and have their car break down and not be able to afford to fix their car? I've noticed he speaks about positivity, but then slides right back to negativity. Well, he's kind of trying to balance both because what he's trying to do is keep both markets around. He's trying to leverage the positive market and the negative market. He's trying to play both sides of the fence, and we all know that never works out. Come on, Pedro. You know you can't play both sides of the fence, bro. It's all good, okay? Then he tries to end on positivity, but it's kind of quashed by his ego and the way he speaks out, or he speaks about orders he declines. Yeah, no disrespect, Pedro. I know you're 41 and you're on the borderline of the millennial and Gen X generation. I'm 49 years old. And, again, I really liked your content before you went on this kumbaya, overly positivity type of spiel, right? That I'm not buying, to be honest with you. But yeah, dude, I mean, your ego really, really comes off, at least to people that are experienced. The only people that you're going to win over are inexperienced new people that are looking at you because you're coming out and saying, well, I make $400 in a day, right? Right? We'll get more into that in just a little bit here. And yes, lots of fluff lately. I don't want to talk smack about him either, but I do agree with your observations, and he doesn't seem truly positive to me. Just my opinion. Oh, you're right, bro. He's pretending to be positive. He's playing the YouTube game for clicks and views. He's trying to monetize whatever he can before this whole gig economy implodes, which means his YouTube channel will implode because it's all about the gig economy. Right now, and another thing, Pedro mentioned on his latest live stream this past Sunday, and I had a feeling that his girlfriend was pregnant again. His girlfriend's pregnant again. He's got another kid coming, and wait till you see what this guy did after he made the announcement that he's got another kid coming. I couldn't believe this. Just wait till we get to the next screen here, which will be comments on his on one of his videos earlier on in the week. Okay. I've watched some of his stuff for a long time. The one thing I take from his videos and apply to my strategy is 2023 is different than any other year. Well, everyone knows 2023 is different than any other year. We're all struggling for the most part. I think everyone's struggling. The people that say they're not struggling are full of it because they're trying to make YouTube content and make money that way to fill in for what they're not making on DoorDash. If you keep using the strategy you have used for the last 2+ years, you will get worse results on the DoorDash app. Well, you shouldn't, but that's what's happening, right? If you multi-app, it really does not matter if other apps can carry you. If your market is dominated by DoorDash, you need to figure it out. I understand that. I agree. Yeah. Not sure I believe everything he is selling. Well, I'm really not buying anything he's selling. And he's not really selling anything. What he's trying to do is put his name out there as an entrepreneur type of guru. And I honestly, Pedro, if you see this, feel free to comment. Feel free to reach out to me, Coach Eli at coacheli@melas.com. Emails below in the description, right? I think he's been an entrepreneur for 2 years. He used to work W-2 jobs in the food industry and the casino industry, right? He's new to being an entrepreneur. I've been doing this. I've been an entrepreneur for over 15 years. And this is why I see exactly what he's doing. Okay? So he's basically trying to leverage whatever he can on the YouTube side of things because he sees the shift happening. He doesn't see this gig economy and DoorDash thing being sustainable long term. But if he comes out and says that now, then he'll get no more YouTube traction. He'll lose his ad revenue, super chats, donations, merchandise, or any other potential gigs he gets. Like he's supposed to be speaking at an event, I believe, next month in Southern California. He's getting all that attention because of his supposed success that he's been bragging about out here. Let's see. Not sure I believe everything he's selling, but also on this stuff, I see the most useless things posted every single day. Sure, you have to filter through that. But for Pedro, he has a great responsibility right now because he is the most sought out YouTube channel in the gig space. He got the most views last month. So people are looking up to him for, his information. And if he's misleading people for his own gain, that's not cool, right? You can tell a lot of people are not making money and just keep doing the same thing every day. Yeah, that's what Pedro's doing. How does Pedro find time to work 12 hours a day, make $400 a day, and still create content and edit it and upload it and do all that, then run live streams, and then spend time with his pregnant lady and his young kid? Where do you find the time, Pedro? I mean, I have a girlfriend my girlfriend's 47. I'm 49. She has 2 grown kids in their 20s, right? I have no kids. I have a girlfriend, and it's just her and I and our 2 dogs, right? Okay? And I still struggle with time management. How are you doing this? Working all day, pretty much almost every day, door dashing, and having a pregnant wife at home, and then another, 1-year-old kid at home, right? Like, it doesn't add up for me. It doesn't add up for me. And then when you try to ask Pedro about it, he ignores it, right? We'll get to that in a little bit, okay? You still have to understand your own market. When merchant orders are released, when most customers order food, and how to get the orders, this is the key to it all. Okay. Well, it's when customers are buying food, which is typically lunch and dinner, right? Sometimes breakfast, right? Special events like Super Bowl and other stuff, that's typically when people are going to use this type of service, right? Agreed. But you didn't need Pedro to tell you that. It's just common sense that 2023 is going to be different. That's exactly what I was saying. From the AR program, which is the acceptance rate program, to the top dasher BS, to the slow economy with the rising food prices, these things don't bode well for dashers, and that's just common sense. Right. You don't need Pedro to tell you that. Now, again, I'm not trying to take anything away from Pedro. He can create anything he wants on YouTube, right? He can do whatever he wants. All I'm saying is that, from what I saw and respected in Pedro when he was creating real content, has gone down the toilet with this, fake positivity thing I think he's putting out there, right? Now, Pedro, I'm not saying you're not trying to turn things around for yourself and your family to be more positive, but your actions are just coming off like not genuine to me. Maybe you're trying to come off that way, but I think you're struggling with your old self, which is your real true self, in my opinion, right? Yeah, a lot of things are basic common sense. The car you drive and how to drive. I see people accelerating and braking so hard and in such a hurry, just destroying their vehicles and so much profit. Right. Treat your car like a baby. Like, did you know you can look where you are going before you get the order and don't have to blindly follow GPS? That's why I only dash in areas that I know all the back roads. And the area I dash in, I've lived in that area all my life. I know every road. I know the shortcuts. I know the path of least resistance. And that is the only way to be a profitable, food delivery driver or gig economy app driver such as DoorDash. And to minimize your mileage, and have as high of a, dollar to mile ratio as possible. Give me a second here. Let me check out the chat here real quick. Let's see there. All right, nothing going on in the chat there. Let's continue here. All right. I don't watch any of the YouTube dashers. Their objective is to get views. There is no way to verify the results they claim, and unless they are getting info directly from DoorDash, which there is no way to know for sure. Everything they say is speculation based on an extremely small sample size, like everything else you read or hear. Bottom line, take what makes you money, decline what doesn't. I agree. And again, I'm not trying to take anything away from Pedro, DoorDash, Santiago, right? But you don't need him, myself, or anyone else telling you that you accept orders that are profitable and you decline ones that aren't, right? Okay? And yes, it's one thing to be a positive and uplifting type of creator, right? But that's not what people are looking for out here regarding DoorDash content. They're looking for the truth. And you can be positive while presenting the truth, okay? But don't be a pretend positive fluffer just to gain more clicks on YouTube, because people are going to catch on that you're being, phony, and it's going to all implode, in due time. The way I see it, people create YouTube videos for views and ads money. That's exactly what I've been saying. You're right. See, look, people can criticize me for coming out here and saying, oh, you're whining, you're this and that. No, all I'm doing here tonight is sharing my feedback and providing supporting information of other people that are responding to my postings on Reddit, right? It's similar to a ton of books on how to get rich on trading stocks. That's right. People who earn money will not share their knowledge. Right. They're going to provide you fluff to keep you buying more of their books, because once they give you the answer, there's nothing left for them to sell you, right? That's what Pedro's doing. He's fluffing you around to keep you around, right? Because if he gives you the answer, you're going to take it and run. And then you're not going to click on his videos. He'll get no ad revenue, no super chats, no nothing, no merch, no nothing, right? And if you are sharing the knowledge, it's pretty much common sense or even useless clickbait. That's a good point. Couldn't have said it better myself. Big round of applause. There we go. I had to find my applause button. All right. He's a clown. Yeah. Yeah, Pedro was the one that created the term the people that don't tip are miserable clowns, right? You see, Pedro, I had a lot more respect for you when you were being honest and truthful and saying that people that don't see DoorDash or Uber Eats or Grubhub as a luxury service and that don't tip, you used to call them miserable clowns, and that's what they are. So what happened, Pedro? Are these people no longer miserable clowns? Okay. Did the epiphany hit you, brother? I mean, what happened, bro? Because honestly, dude, I've been trying to reach out to you. You've been ignoring me. And it's just very obvious to me that you're selling out to something. It may not be selling out to DoorDash. Maybe you are. But if you're not selling out to DoorDash, bro, you're selling out to something else. And if you're not selling out to DoorDash, I think what's happening is you're trying to make a name for yourself to be a self-help guru or a life coach or something like that. That's what I do. If that's the way you want to go, bro, all you have to do is come out and say, hey, you know what? I am now Pedro Santiago, life coach. Be transparent about what you're trying to accomplish, bro. Because your channel name is Pedro DoorDash Santiago. And you're not really providing the content that your channel's name was created for originally. That's all. Change your channel name. Life Coach Pedro. Life Coach Pedro Santiago. That's all you got to do, bro. And then you're good, right? That's all. And I wrote back, I said, is he a miserable clown like he's called the non-tippers in the past? LOL. I got to say, I like that phrase, miserable clowns, LOL. Yeah, I know a bunch of miserable clowns on and off of YouTube. Enough said. I lost all faith in him when he lied about the gun incident. Yeah, you think he was doing that for YouTube clicks? I didn't even know about that, but I just asked, you think he was doing that for YouTube clicks? Guaranteed. When he noticed that it didn't work, we never heard about it again. That's a typo. He meant to say we never heard about it again. Yeah, of course. He tried to get clicks off of that. That's what he's trying to do. Wow, do you think Pedro is becoming a shill? I think he would if he could, but DoorDash is not trying to work with him like they do with other creators. That's why he has changed his tune over the last couple of months. He's trying to get sponsored. Well, yeah, he's got another baby on the way, right? And his woman's probably on his ass, right? We need more money. We need more money. We need more money, Like honestly, this guy lives in St. Louis, Missouri. The cost of living there is 1/3 of my cost of living here in the San Francisco Bay Area. And I'm not even trying to make $400 a day. If I made $120 a day doing DoorDash 5 days a week, that would be enough extra money to, carry me through and help my lady's situation out. And that's it. It's really hard for me to believe that, he's making that amount of money. It's really hard for me to believe he's making that amount of money. It really is. Anyway, I put good points. He would sell out in a heartbeat if he could. He probably would. I 100% believe that. He would not be like Megan Risman and tell them no. Now, Megan Risman, he misspelled her last name there, was a lady that got deactivated by DoorDash after she turned down a sponsorship that DoorDash offered her last year. And then she went on to TikTok and just, was just sharing some information there. And next thing you know, she gets deactivated for like no reason, right? So we're all thinking that she got deactivated for turning down a sponsorship from DoorDash where they would control not only your channel, but your name and your likeness. Screw that. I would never give that up. Never. Sorry. He would not be like Megan Risman and tell them no. He would take that deal and it's like, Pedro, honestly, dude, just come out and be real and truthful with people, bro. Because if not, the court of public opinion out here on YouTube will eat you alive, dude. I've been doing this for so long. I've been eaten alive out here, right? I've been through a lot here. I've mastered this platform. I'm telling you, Pedro, if you continue going down this road and playing the game this way, the YouTube court of public opinion will eat you alive, bro. And maybe even beyond that, maybe the entire social media court of public opinion will eat you alive, dude. I'm just saying, dude, I've been down that road. Trust me, I've been down that road. This is pretty sad. When you think you are following someone genuine and you truly, this this is pretty sad. When you think you are following someone genuine and about truly helping people, and this happens, you're like, wow, I'm a very positive guy, but also very real at the same time. Pedro is trying to come off like he truly cares about others. But to intuitive people like me, he's selfish and completely about himself. Yeah, dude, you're coming off very, very selfish. And the only people that are not realizing that are new people that are just following you because you're claiming to make $300 to $400 a day. And they want to figure out how to make that, right? That's what it all boils down to, right? I would never sell myself out like this. I couldn't live with myself. I'm an entrepreneur, right? I'm self-employed. I'm either going to be self-employed and doing my own thing, like my coaching business is my own thing, right? Or I'm going to be an independent contractor, like I am having a monetized YouTube channel. Actually, I have 2 monetized YouTube channels. This one here and my main channel, Coach Eli, Elias, Melas. And I'm an independent contractor with DoorDash and Uber Eats. Independent contractor. I would never sell myself out in that way. When I left the corporate world 15 years ago and became an entrepreneur, I used to sell insurance. That's how I started off in the self-employment land. Okay? I'm never going back. I'm never going back. I would never sell out. I would never sell out to the W-2. Okay? He was like that at the beginning and got a lot of followers, but then made a complete 180, and that's when he lost me. Right. That's exactly what he did. That's exactly what he did. And a lot of YouTubers do that, right? They do certain things to build the audience, right? Right? And then all of a sudden, they're thinking, okay, I've maxed this out. I cannot get sponsorships or endorsements or move further if I don't become more positive. Dude, you can create your own brand. Pedro Santiago, life coach. Create your own brand. You'll make more money eventually, and you'll have no one to answer but yourself, right? And they won't try to control your own name, bro. Come on, dude. Give me a second here, folks. All right. Just had to check a couple messages there. Where are we at right now? We are at 52 minutes. Got to take a break soon. Chemist Chaz, I stopped dashing to care for my parents, and my mother just passed in November. I also do catering orders, but DoorDash has been dead for over a year. Nightbot, thanks for the info. I'm out. Yeah. Chemist Chaz, you can stick around if you want, man. There's a 1-minute delay between what I say here and what goes out to YouTube. I do that just as a safety mechanism in case I have to dump the delay before it goes out to YouTube. But thank you for stopping by. And if Nightbot does time you out, then you come back in like 5 to 15 seconds. I have security here on this channel because we do get trolled, and I want to keep it as clean as possible. But thank you for being here. Oh, there's more by Chemist Chaz. You are giving Pedro too much attention. If he has been busted saying he makes more than he says, I've been subbed to Pedro since he started dashing. I started dashing in October 2018. Vet here. Well, tell me more about the Pedro situation if you're around, bro, and I'll get to it as I continue going through this here. Let's see here. I'm like you. I used to really like him. He interviewed me about a year ago on his Sunday show, and I had a really good time. He has just lost me over the last couple of months. It is always fun to see what happens to people when they get a little bit of a following. Yeah, Pedro, you let it get to your head, bro. You're letting it get to your head, and you're trying to please both sides. You're trying to please the people that want you to talk smack about DoorDash and the people that want you to kumbaya, my lord, DoorDash, right? And Pedro, if you haven't learned in 41 years of life that if you try to please everyone, you please no one. You got to target a market, target a message, and stick to it, right? And be consistent. That's all I'm saying, dude. That's all. I'm not trying to be rude. I'm just trying to give you some advice from a guy that's been doing this longer. I've been doing the gig economy thing longer than you, but I've been around longer than you. I'm 49, and I've been an entrepreneur for 15 years, and I worked in the corporate retail world for 18 years before that. So I got a lot of experience. It may not be with DoorDash, but I have a lot of experience in public relations. I've also done public speaking in the real world before COVID hit. and I was an insurance broker, I was running networking events and speaking all over Northern California in person. And I think that's the route you want to go. And if that's the route you want to go, that's cool. Just be transparent about it. Be real with people, bro. What's your YouTube channel, bro? Do you have a link to that interview, bro, and a link to your channel? Let me see here. I don't have a channel, and it was a phone interview. Did you catch his video last night? And then I wrote, yeah, I saw his latest video, and he didn't do a ride-along like he normally does. This is sketchy to me. I think he's trying to save face because he's realizing people are starting to catch on to him. It's only a matter of time before all YouTube creators in the gig space call him out. Again, I'm not about drama. I've dealt with crappy people on YouTube trolling me for years. But in the case of Pedro, people need to know he's become a shill. What are your thoughts about this and his latest video? And he comes back at me and says, I know for a fact he's full of shit. No way he's made anywhere near 400. How does a content creator who makes videos about DoorDash not film his best day ever? Right. So Pedro claimed last week he made $400 for the second time in his DoorDash career of a couple years, right? And he's pretty much filmed every time he's gone out and made content every day. But the second time he has his biggest day of $400, he's not filming it. I mean, even if that actually happened, do you see how that's coming off, Pedro? Right? I go, that's a great point. I agree. Why didn't he record and release one of his best days ever? LOL. Furthermore, he just released his weekly video for the Rideshare Guy channel, and he gets paid to do that. Nothing wrong with that. He was transparent about that. He does get paid to do weekly videos for the Rideshare Guy, which is fine. He again mentioned that $400 day in that video. So on the Rideshare Guy, he talked about his $400 day like it's the greatest thing since sliced bread. That's what he's branding himself off of. He's branding himself off as the guy that can make $400 a day if he adapts to the way DoorDash is doing things. It's if you're even making that much, Pedro, it's because your market is extremely rare compared to 99% of all other markets in the U.S. That's all it is. And you're just trying to capitalize off of the hype of what other people are seeking on YouTube. That's it. It's the bottom line. He knows it. He absolutely knows it. He's using high and unreasonable dollar amounts to get people to buy into him, thinking they'll make $400 as well. It is highly unlikely for anyone to make $400 in a day, even working 12 hours straight. It is. I will watch part of Pedro's live stream tonight just to see what he does next. It is only a matter of time for karma to catch up to him and bite him in the ass. Mark my words, he will not last in the spotlight playing his cards this way. Thanks for your feedback, bro. I'm out dashing right now, and this really helps keep me sane. Yeah, I mean, it was slow. I'll be on as well. You should look for me tonight in the comments. Will do. I'll be on my Coach Eli, Elias, Melas channel. Sorry, Pedro. No super chat for you. LOL. No super chat for you, Pedro. Oh, man. The Ghost of Whoosh Whoosh, can you show us your earnings summaries for February? I'm curious how you're doing. I'll tell you. I'm not going to put my phone with the screen up there, but I'll tell you what I've done in February. Give me a little bit, and I'll do that. Whoosh Whoosh. How you doing, man? Chemist Chaz. What's that? Hold on a second. Did you say something? My girlfriend's in the other room. I thought she was calling me. Chemist Chaz says, just didn't know if you saw my messages. Thank you, Eli. Oh, you're welcome, dude. Yeah. And if you get timed out, please, just, you'll be back in 5 to 15 seconds. Nightbot's just making sure we don't get too many crazies here trying to distract what we're trying to accomplish. Chemist Chaz, I haven't watched Pedro since his wife had his baby and he didn't dash for about 5 weeks. Well, he's been back. And his wife, well, it's not even his wife, it's his girlfriend. She's pregnant again. And just dude, there's more info. Just wait till you hear what happens next. I'm gonna go over the comments that I made and other people responded to in one of his videos from earlier on in the week, right after I get through this Reddit posting here, and then I'm gonna take a break. Let's see. Chemist Chaz says, Pedro takes crap orders. I would bust a move for the crap orders he gets. Absolutely. Yeah, no, you're right. You're right. You're right. You know, he thinks that the acceptance rate is making a big difference, or he's trying to lead people to believe that, but the acceptance rate doesn't mean anything. And I'll prove that because there are other channels that have been talking about acceptance rate. There was a video released by the Zach Drives Fast channel that did a collaborative video with the Rideshare channel that Pedro also does videos on. And he was talking about that acceptance rate doesn't mean anything because Zach was hanging around with a friend. Zach was in the Diamond program at that point. He had an acceptance rate of over 50%, so he was getting priority to higher paying orders. His friend was at a 20% acceptance rate, and his friend got a high paying order that his friend declined, and then Zach got it right afterwards, and DoorDash labeled it as a high paying order. So they prioritize someone not in the Diamond program for a high paying order over someone that is getting priority. So that was interesting. And I have a lot of respect for Zach Drives Fast. I'll promote his channel in a little bit during the second half of the show here. But anyway, let's see here. I was not able to watch Pedro's live tonight as I went out to dinner with my lady instead, but I'm listening to the replay now, and he may be redeeming himself. If you saw the show, what are your thoughts? At first, when I saw his live stream, I thought he was redeeming himself, but I changed my mind as I got towards the end. So here's what I wrote down below after I watched the entire show on the replay the next day. So Pedro's girlfriend is pregnant again, and that says it all to me. I now understand where he's coming from and why he's changing his attitude and outlook. He seems to be more transparent so far in the stream. I've only watched the first 16 minutes so far, and I'll watch the rest in the morning, but I get it now. I'm sure his woman had a talk with him, and I get that. I have a woman, too, and we communicate everything. Okay, I get that. I still think the amount of money he's making is questionable, or maybe he's in a market that isn't oversaturated. The truth of the matter is you can't make $300 to $400 per day in most markets. The most I've made in one day here in the San Francisco Bay Area was $185 working 12 hours that day in December. My orders were consistent all day long and still couldn't hit 200. These gig tubers that are making $300 to $400 in a day are either in a very lucky market that isn't overly saturated, or they're gaming the system somehow. I'm still researching this as this has me very curious. When I figure this out, I'll post my findings here on this Reddit forum and make a video of it on my main channel. And then the same dude that I've been talking with, I've become really good friends with this guy. I'm in Las Vegas, and I can't even make close to that, and the app goes off nonstop here. I get what he is trying to do, but like I told him last night, we love you and you don't have to lie. We love you and you don't have to lie to get us to keep watching. Right, that's what he's doing. He's basically fluffing things up to get people to keep watching. And that's just really, really sad. All right, we are at 1 hour and 3 minutes. Hold on a second. All right. Let me see here. Let's go over this one here before I take my first break. This is the video that Pedro put out. Like, how many days ago was it? Let me see here. February 20th, 2023. So that was 3 days ago. And it was titled, DoorDash Acceptance Rate Matters. Higher AR helps me make 400 in a day, part 1. You're full of it, Pedro. AR does not matter. We've proven it. Zach Drives Fast has proven it with his friend not being in the Diamond program and him being in the Diamond program, and his friend got the high-paying offer first. And then Zach, when his friend declined it, Zach Drives Fast got the offer as part of the high-paying Diamond labeled program afterwards. I think you know AR doesn't matter, bro. I think you know that, dude. Why are you lying, Pedro? Come on, Pedro. All right, so I made a comment here. And after I finished watching Pedro's live stream from the previous night, this was released the next morning, or the next afternoon or early evening after Pedro did his live stream the previous night, okay? Pedro, honest question. You did a live stream last night that ended about 12:30 a.m. your time. In this video, you state it's around 6 a.m. when you started. If you went to bed at 1 a.m., you got 4 to 5 hours of sleep, and now you're back working a $400 a day, where's the quality of life in that? You've been talking a lot about quality of life and work-personal life balance lately, and your actions, lack of sleep in this case, contradict your words. They do, Pedro. Either that or you recorded that video several days prior, and you're trying to make it appear like it's the next day. Then you're lying to your audience, right? Okay? Here's the thing. These are honest questions that I hope you're willing to answer, but I have a feeling you're either going to block me or ignore me. Well, he didn't block me, and the comment's still there. Either way, I've taken a screenshot of this comment, and if ignored, I'll go live on my other channel, Coach Eli 2, and talk about this. Well, I'm here now talking about it on Coach Eli 2. I'm not trying to come at you, bro, but come on, man. I'm no rookie to being self-employed in this YouTube thing, so I truly get what's going on here. Do the right thing, man, and share your honest thoughts if you truly care. Thanks. Right. So he's got a pregnant wife at home. Pregnant, I think, like 5 or 6 weeks, right? Another young one that's a year old that they had last year, right? He's preaching quality of life. He's preaching positivity, kumbaya, my lord, type of content, right? Fluffer content, right? And he's not leading by example. You're contradicting your words, Pedro. And if you didn't get up the next morning at 6 a.m. after going to bed at 1 a.m. After you finish your live stream, and that video was from a different day, and you're trying to lead people to believe it was the next day after your live stream, then you're lying to the people, right? How does that come off? If not, screenshot this comment. You sound like a little pansy. Well, you want to call me a pansy, call me a pansy. It's not like I haven't heard that many times out here on YouTube over the last 6 years. But thank you. Thank you, Chewy. Danny Johnson says, fam, he is in a challenge. Therefore, he is in grind mode to hit a goal and to possibly win the challenge. Make sure you pay attention and actually listen to what the man is doing before you try to tear him down. This is not something he is doing every week, fam. Just take a step back and really pay attention to what he what? Well, you didn't finish, let me hang on a second here. To what you want to hear. I can't zoom in because it cuts it off. Okay. I'm going to have to do it this way here. It won't be as big, but you folks will see it. Let's see here. Chemist says, my best app tip was $98 a few times. I got a couple of $100 cash tips, but it was during the pandemic. Anyway, I'll be listening, going to bed now. By the way, I'm a chick. Oh, sorry about that. My apologies. My apologies. I have a girlfriend that dashes with me at times too. And I respect women too. My apologies for thinking you're a dude. I apologize. Thank you. Take care and keep dashing. Well, I'll share my thoughts about that towards the end of the show. Let me see here. All right. This is not something he is doing every week, fam. Just take a step back and really pay attention to what he says rather than hearing what you want to hear. Hearing what we want to hear, he's saying things and then he's contradicting himself with his actions. So it's very, very clearly obvious. Just some people are so oblivious. They see he's making $400 a day and we want to figure out how to do that. Come on. It's not going to happen in pretty much most, if not all other markets. Come on. I wrote back, said that Danny Johnson, come on, bro. I lead by example and practice what I preach. If Pedro's going to preach work, personal life balance, he needs to practice it. Competition or not, you can't have it both ways. You're saying because he's in a competition with other gig workers, he's exempt to his own words. He's preaching to his audience. Come on, dude. Don't be naive. Come on. Practice what you preach. That's the bottom line. Danny Johnson says, at Coach Eli, you clearly don't get the point, and I'm not here to teach, so this is where I exit the conversation. Best of luck, brother. Bro, you're leaving because there's nothing more to say. What I responded to was clear, concise, to the point. There's nothing else to say, right? All I said was if he's gonna preach something, he has to practice what he preaches. He can't just say, okay, I preach this, but for the next 2 weeks, because I want to compete against other gig YouTubers, I'm going to break my own words. How does that come off? Come on, dude. Vicky Hilden, I'm sure Pedro rests throughout the day. LOL, I have 7 children and I understand the balance. J. Maya Thomas says, Vicky Hilden, I just love how they didn't respond to your comment. People on the internet never fail to amaze me. Oh, I did. Vicky says, Coach Eli, I do feel what you are saying, and I agree 100%. He is probably a spokesperson for DoorDash getting paid. There should be some transparency. And then this other lady, Tiffany, says 100%. Vicky furthermore says, Coach Eli, I am dashing my way to this particular area. I can dash anywhere at any time. I am on vacation, so I took yesterday off and will be dashing today. I will be in Pedro's neck of the woods Thursday and will put the area to a test. We'll see. That is interesting. That caught my attention because if Pedro is BSing us that you can make $400 working 12 hours in his city, St. Louis, Missouri, okay, she's going to put it to the test, right? Or what if she goes there, Pedro, and then cuts your profits in half? Or what if this brings more and more people there, and now we're going to start saturating St. Louis, right? Or what if St. Louis is already saturated and you're just, fooling us? Now, Pedro has shared some screenshots, right? But anything can be fudged. Let's see what happens when, Vicky does her testing. I sure will. That's what she said. And Pedro never responded. Pedro, I'm sure you saw this, right? You had a couple options, Pedro. You could have deleted the comments. You could have blocked me. Or you could have done, the professional and manly thing is to respond. And I'm not even saying the manly thing because we're men. Because it doesn't matter if you're a man or a woman. You could have done the professional thing and responded and been transparent. But because you didn't respond to my legitimate questions that are still publicly available on your channel, right? It's leading me to believe that you don't want to answer something that would give away your shtick. That's the bottom line, right? Right? In this case, no response is as good as telling me what's really going on, dude. If you felt otherwise, you would have cleared things up with no problem. All right, folks. We are at 1 hour and 12 minutes. I'm going to step away, take a quick 7 or 8 or 9 minute break here, then come back for another 45 minutes to an hour and get through the rest. There's a lot more. I'm going to blitz through it because it's very important, and it's only going to get even more interesting. We're not going to talk about Pedro anymore. We're done talking about Pedro. I may mention a couple of other content creators that I do respect and suggest you subscribe if you're a part of the gig economy or want to learn more about it. But I have a few more Reddit postings I'm going to go over, and just wait until you see what a lot of people are saying is happening that's creating this slowdown. And it's like an artificial slowdown. It was interesting. So stick around for that. Let me cue up some royalty-free YouTube music and do that. I'll take a little break. All right. Just need one more. All right. Music is all queued up. I'm going to step away for a 8 or 9 minute break, and we'll continue with some more interesting things regarding the gig economy when I get back. So stick around. Round. We'll be right we go. Ethan Mixel coming up right now from the YouTube audio library. Yeah, shake it up, shake it up. Let's feel real good, feel real good. Amp it up, crank it up. Positive vibes. Yeah. Gotta feel it. Woo. Yeah. 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 All right. All right. All right. All right. All right. All right. All right, all right, all right. Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back to Navigating the Modern World with Coach Eli, live here on YouTube, live on Coach Eli 2 authentic live streams, the most positive place on the internet. And yes, we are positive, but we keep it real at the same time. No fluff here. Why do you want any more fluff in your life than you already have? That's why we're positive, but we're real. Keep it 100, right? All right, all right. Before we get back to it, folks, I want to remind you all that my channel here and my other channel, Coach Eli, Elias, Melas, are both primarily funded through crowdfunding and your donations. I can't even get the words out. It's been a while. We're primarily funded through crowdfunding and donations, and if you feel in your heart and soul that you're getting great value, please consider making a donation in any amount based on the value you feel you are receiving. You can do so in one of many ways. You can go to the bottom of the chat while we're here live and click that super chat or super sticker. On the live stream replay, once it's done processing, you'll see a little heart there below the video that says thanks. That's the super thanks. You can make a donation in the comments section, and that will highlight your comment in the comments section. And if that doesn't work, you can also donate via Cash App or PayPal. Nightbot is sharing my Cash App and PayPal links every 7 minutes in the chat. On PayPal, you can go to paypal.me/Coach Eli. And on Cash App, you can go to $The Real Coach Eli. And as always, donations are greatly appreciated, but they are not required. All right. All right, folks. So tonight, we have been discussing what DoorDash drivers are really dealing with in 2023. And Fluffer DoorDash content creators exposed. One more time. What DoorDash drivers are really dealing with in 2023. And Fluffer DoorDash content creators exposed. Missed first part of the show, go back and check out the replay. I was sharing some Reddit postings I made over the past, week and a half or so. I also discussed the most popular gig economy YouTuber currently, which is a channel called Pedro DoorDash Santiago. And I was sharing my thoughts about what I feel Pedro is currently doing compared to what he's done in the past, and how I feel he went from having all of my respect to maybe not as much. I'm not going to say I don't respect you, Pedro. I'm just saying that you lost a bit of my respect, when you stopped being as real as you were and as transparent as you were. And you can redeem yourself, bro, by just coming out, being transparent, and not only answering the fluffer questions you get, but answering the real hardcore questions that you once were trying to get DoorDash to answer, right? So you and many others have been trying to get DoorDash to answer some real straightforward questions that you used to answer, but now, in essence, dude, I feel you're playing the same game DoorDash is playing. It's surreal, man. Come on, dude. Come on, man. You're better than that. All right, so let's get back to it because I'm only going to be on another maybe 49 minutes or so, and I have a lot to go over. Let's get to, I was going to show you folks. Let's see. There's a guy that, let me switch over here. This guy right here, his name is Zach Drives Fast, and he did a video earlier today for a channel called The Rideshare Guy. It's a great channel that collaborates with many other gig economy YouTubers. And Pedro DoorDash Santiago does weekly videos on the Rideshare Guy's channel on Sundays, and it looks like I think it's every Thursday, Zach Drives Fast does a video. What I really like about Zach Drives Fast is he's no fluff, no BS. He keeps it real. He's a good dude. He's very honest and he's very positive, but he's very real at the same time. And I even sent a link of this video to my lady earlier today. She's like, I really like this guy. So, hey, you know what, Zach? If my lady likes you, you know I like you too, bro. The title of the video was How DoorDash Manipulates Dashers into Higher Acceptance Rate. And like I mentioned earlier, I will briefly mention again, while I also, I'm going to switch over to show you, this is Zach's YouTube channel at youtube.com/@ZachDrivesFast. So subscribe there, bang the bell, select the notifications. What Zach was saying about acceptance rate is that he went dashing with a friend that has an acceptance rate, I think, of about 20%. It's under 50%. In order to be a part of the, priority diamond program, to get priority access to higher paying, orders, you need to have at least a 50% acceptance rate. If you have a 50% acceptance rate, you get priority access to higher paying orders. If your acceptance rate is above 70% or above, you get first priority to higher paying orders. And his friend got a high paying order, not being a part of the diamond program. His friend declined it, and Zach, who is a part of the diamond program, he has above 50% acceptance rate. After his friend declined the higher paying order, Zach got it immediately, and it came up as a high paying order with that fancy screen. So he was like, it's BS. It's complete BS. It proves it. You got to watch that video. So yeah, go over to the Rideshare Guys channel. It's the Rideshare, RIDESHARE space guy, and watch that video that was done by Zach Drives Fast, How DoorDash Manipulates Dashers into Higher Acceptance Rates. What they're trying to do is basically get you to take the trash orders with no tips on them, right? The lowball, no tip orders that are going to lose you money. And they're saying if you take it up with those and you raise your acceptance rate to 50 or 70+%, you're going to get higher priority or first priority to higher paying orders. It doesn't matter. It's been proven. I had a high acceptance rate too, and I was getting trash orders and good orders with a high acceptance rate, and I'm still getting, higher paying orders and trash with a low acceptance rate. Mine right now is at about 22%. Now, you may be asking, well, has your acceptance rate, has your acceptance rate been the reason why you're not making as much money on DoorDash? No, it wouldn't matter either way. There are other things happening on DoorDash that have happened over the last 3 weeks or so that I'm going to share with you folks here in a little bit, and I'm going to show proof. So stick around for that. But subscribe to the Rideshare Guy and also subscribe to Zach Drives Fast. Great channels. One more channel I want to mention really quickly is subscribe to the DoorDash Sucks channel. I know it's kind of a pretty, pretty mean type of name there, right? But this guy makes real good content. I really respect what he puts out there. And he also calls out the Fluffer channels on YouTube that are creating gig economy content. And he also praises the good channels as well. So, check out the DoorDash Sucks channel at youtube.com/@DoorDash Sucks606, or just type in DoorDash space sucks and you'll find it. Oh man. And he's not monetized. He could be monetized, but he doesn't want to monetize his channel. He just does this for the fun of it. All right. So let's go on to the next. I have 4 more Reddit postings. I'm going to try to get through as many as possible. This next one is from, once again, the subreddit r_DoorDash_drivers. And I made a posting 3 days ago. I've been a little frustrated. And I titled it, I'm about to quit DoorDash. I'm in the San Francisco Bay Area Peninsula / Redwood City / San Carlos area. I was making decent money initially, and lately I sometimes sit around for hours without getting orders. I multi-app with Uber, which is Uber Eats, and same thing. The SF Bay Area is supposed to be one of the busiest markets for DoorDash, and don't understand why it's so slow. Is it market saturation? I see other Dashers claim they make $200 to $400 per day in other areas outside of California. Again, Pedro DoorDash Santiago is claiming he makes that in St. Louis, Missouri. Okay. Are their markets not saturated, or are they gaming the system somehow? Can someone share what they think is going on? Is the SF Bay area that overly saturated, or is it something else? All right. So let's take a look here. Okay. Give me a second. All right. Let me see here. That lady says, respectfully but truly professionally, I honestly don't know what is everyone's problem. We are all subject to our own opinions, right? Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely, babe. Have you gotten some nasty comments that you had to ban that I didn't see that were held for review? I would have probably seen it. I don't see anything there. But yeah, everyone's entitled to their opinion. We're just trying to share ours and help people as best as possible with no fluffer content, right? Giving it to you straight up. We're not trying to harm anyone. We're just sharing the truth. That's all we're doing. All right. Let's see here. Could be multi-apping. I've been seeing posts pop up about people getting issues or deactivated from multi-apping while on shift. Multi-apping will not get you deactivated. You're an independent contractor. Okay. That will not get you deactivated. No, it's not multi-apping. It's something else. I put. People could be lying about their earnings to make others quit. No, they're lying about their earnings to gain more YouTube traction. Pedro could be saying, I make $400 a day. You can't do, just follow me. Watch all my videos. Give me monetized playbacks. Give me super chats. Buy my merch, right? Come on, folks. Understand how the internet works nowadays. It's all about marketing and making money any way you can while you're still relevant, right? Okay, great point I put. Let's see, the next comment. Do you have low AR acceptance rate? Yes, I do. My low AR is affecting me as well as Dasher saturation, but I still get by as a side gig. AR is not affecting you. Market saturation is affecting you. And some other things that, will pop up here in a little bit. When it is a little slow, they hardly push orders to me. When it is busy, it isn't too bad. I get orders, but they are not that great, but not bad either. Well, dude, if you get an order that's asking you to go 14 miles for $10, that's less than $1 a mile. How can you afford, to take that order in any market? That order would lose you money. And that's what a lot of orders have been coming out to lately in every market. So I don't understand how Pedro just happens to be in a market that's like the brand new gold rush. The gold rush has moved from San Francisco to St. Louis, apparently, right? I was at 92% acceptance rate and started getting the worst orders a few weeks ago. When this started happening, within 3 days, I was in the 20% range, which is where I am at now and have been for a few weeks. It was already happening to me while I had a higher acceptance rate. I don't think acceptance rate matters. It doesn't. Zach Drives Fast proved it today on the Rideshare Guys channel, like I mentioned a few minutes ago. I agree. I think the AR thing is BS. It completely is BS. I was up to 70% and I'm now back down to 39. I don't see a huge difference in the pay of orders I'm getting. I get just as many high pay orders when I had high priority for them. Exactly. And when I had high priority, I was getting just as many crap orders as I am now. Right. This is more so proving the game that DoorDash is playing to try to get people to take crap orders. Right? That are not profitable for anyone to take. I don't think it is BS in my area. I noticed a drastic change since they have implemented the priority order program. That's what they want you to think. I used to get a lot more high hidden tips, which is rare now. Well, DoorDash is not playing the hidden tip game, in my opinion, from what I see as much anymore, because it could create some legal issues. Pretty much everything I see on the main screen or on the acceptance screen when you decide to accept an order or not is what it ends up being if you take the order and complete it. Okay. Every now and then you might get an extra $1, right? But you're not going to get more than typically. I don't see more than $1 or $2, above what you accept on the original acceptance page when you accept the order. Plus, I notice a couple nicer restaurants in regards to better tips I don't get offers for anymore. I get more Taco Bell and McDonald's orders than before and less of the better places, I think, because they tend to have higher tips and they are going to other Dashers. No, that's not where they're going to. You're going to be blown away by what I show you regarding where they're going to. Now I rely on Albertsons for higher pay orders since they inflate the base pay. Once in a while, they do throw me a bone if I'm lucky and happen to be in front of a place and they need to get an order out right away. For example, last night I gave up after only getting one order sitting in a parking lot with nothing coming through. That's happened to me. I've sat for hours with nothing coming through lately. So I call it a day. I go home to my lady and spend time with her. Okay. I went to grab dinner and in the same parking lot, there is this Chinese place. I got the order when I entered the lot. The order was a decent size order, was already made and just sitting there. It was $6.50 with $2 hidden tip. So $8.50 for about 2.5 miles from the restaurant. Yeah. 2.5 miles, $6.50. I might have taken that. Typically, I don't like taking anything below $7.50 or $7.75 because I'm in the San Francisco Bay Area and my cost of living is higher here. But, dollar to mile ratio, you're looking at over $2 a mile. And any area besides the San Francisco Bay Area or most of California, you'll still be profitable taking that, right? About as best I can hope for these days, unless it is a Super Bowl, Valentine's Day, etc. Well, Super Bowl and Valentine's Day were crap. On Valentine's Day, they were basically, offering flowers at 40% off. I was getting flower orders to go 14 miles for $12. And I'm like, I'm not going to deliver roses to some dude's chick for $12 and go 14 miles, less than $1 a mile. I mean, I'm going to lose money. And anyone taking that, I'm sorry, you're a moron, right? I think your 20% AR as well as Dasher saturation is the problem. The AR is not the problem, it's Dasher saturation, and there's more coming up on that. I'm currently at 15%. I don't think at this point I'll be able to get it to 70. The people that are priority top Dashers get most of the good orders, so it would take a ton of bad orders to raise it. Well, I just also think there aren't as many good orders going around because it is a slower time of the year. Plus, I think people are more so catching on that these fees are ridiculous that they're paying, and they'd rather go to the store, sit down, have a meal served to them, and give a server a tip instead of a Dasher. That's the bottom line. That's what's been happening. I've been seeing restaurants in my area full, especially on the weekends and some nights, right, with people eating in. That's what's happening, right? Right? Why are you going to pay DoorDash a luxury fee for, a similar service that you would pay actually for a better service that you would pay in a restaurant for a similar price? Why would you do that, right? Let's see. Same exact results for me, bro. AR equals BS. I don't think DoorDash truly prioritizes anyone for any order. I think they give orders to the best Dasher geographically that can pick up and deliver the order the fastest. That's it. The AR Diamond Zone programs and Top Dasher are just gimmicks to force people to take the low ball, non-tipping orders. That's what it is. I'm in a different part of the Bay Area and business has been just fine for me. Which part of the Bay and how good has it been? Please be more specific. There's a reason I'm not being more specific. Okay. Let's see. There's another person here saying, I'm in Monterey County, an hour and a half from you, and I don't work more than 8 hours a day and make about 120 to 150. A few years ago, you could make 300 to 400 in SF, but I think it's probably oversaturated. I wrote, the Monterey Bay Area is as nice as well. Sorry, is a nice area as well. Very expensive there, similar to SF Bay Area. I'm really beginning to think it's oversaturation. That's what many people have said about the SF Bay Area. So that's probably it. It's gotten so bad. I haven't made over $100 in a day for over 3 weeks. I dash in the Redwood City / San Carlos area where there are a ton of restaurants and people have tons of money. They do. They do. And what's funny, it is super busy in your area, at least what the DoorDash map shows. Right. And it's a big gimmick too. The map's showing it's busy most of the time is a big gimmick. It shows my area super busy all the time. There are tons of shit orders in my area as well that are lowball and have no tip. I think DoorDash wants the extra drivers out of my area, oversaturating the market, because that gives DoorDash a better chance of someone taking the shit orders. Lots of cheap-ass college students placing small orders with no tip. Right. Yep. That's what it is. Stanford University. No tip. Long-distance deliveries to Stanford University with no tip. It's not worth it. Not worth it. I just stopped taking no-tip orders, and that eliminates most high school and college campus orders from the cheap rich kids. If you can afford to use this luxury delivery service, then you can afford the tip. You're just choosing not to. No tip, no trip. If every Dasher lived by that rule, DoorDash wouldn't be able to play their games with us. It's the truth of the matter. But if there are people out there that are going to take these lowball, not-tipping orders, then, DoorDash is going to continue to do what they're going to do, or what they've been doing, right? You need Top Dasher and Diamond program to avoid this probably. Also, maybe try a zone or two away. Because of Prop 22, high-distance orders are better, and you can get tipping customers 90+% of the time on $1 a mile plus one. Dude, I can't live off of $1 a mile. Not with my car that gets 15 miles per gallon dashing. And most cars that are not hybrids or electric cars are going to get about 15 to 17 miles per gallon dashing in a city area. Sorry about that. It's not feasible. Still, avoid no tippers mainly for ratings and CVBS. But in Cali, there's a lot, and I mean a lot of people who don't speak English doing DoorDash. A lot of them probably aren't legal. Here we go. I want everyone to be happy, but it is the truth. Their presence lowers the bar for pay and increase for acceptance. We've got a lot of illegal aliens that, and I'll get more of this in a bit because I'll show you something, what's really going on here. You've got a lot of people that have multiple DoorDash accounts, and they're using stolen identities, and it's just a big issue. We'll get down just a little bit here. If you have other opportunities that are solid, obviously you should probably take them, though. If you need this as a fallback, though, I try to keep 70 to 75% acceptance rate and see how you do. The acceptance rate doesn't matter, bro. But what you're saying about the illegals out there that don't speak English, I've encountered them too. I've encountered these people while waiting for orders. I even would try to speak to them, and they'd be like, no English. And at first I thought they were just trying to ignore me, but now after what I've read in these forums, it's basically they don't speak English, and they're illegally using the DoorDash apps with fake accounts, with stolen identities. Wow, you made my night, and thank you so much for that info. It is probably the illegal aliens from south of the border. Now I'm super pissed off at this. Although I hear DoorDash will soon roll out occasional photo verification like Uber Eats does. When that happens, it will put these illegals defrauding the system out of business. Makes sense? Yeah, and that's not cool. It's not cool. If you're going to come to this country, you got to come here legally. You want a better opportunity because things aren't that great in your country, do it legally, right? If you're going to do it illegally and then game this system that's affecting myself from making money to provide for my family, that's going to piss me off. It'll piss anybody off, right? There are other ways they could almost completely eliminate this and actual abuse of the platform with multiple accounts, real ID. But the real problem is DoorDash and the rest of these companies are allowed to pay us effectively $0 per hour by simply not offering jobs to us while having a massively oversaturated platform. It is virtually all upside to them because they can pay less for better service with faster pickup times. Right. These people doing it illegally are taking all the crap orders because they're just happy to work for anything. They're just happy to be in this country, right? I'm curious to hear more of your take regarding people having multiple accounts. I've heard about this from other people, but what would the benefit be of having multiple accounts and how are they created? Okay. Also, I put better in quotes because it makes good drivers quit and you wind up with way more people working for DoorDash who have a hard time getting any other work for various reasons, illegal, problematic, work ethic, etc. A lot of people just have bad social anxiety or hate having bosses. These wind up being a lot of the better drivers, but the distillation of drivers this way is largely a quite negative impact on the service quality people get. You're right. I had a lady one time I delivered to saying that, you found exactly where my office building was at. I've been dealing with a lot of drivers that don't speak English that would leave the bag at the front of the door by the side of the road, and we're way on the other side. And, it's like, you try to communicate with them, and they can't even communicate with you when they call you or when they text you because they don't speak English. And while that was happening many, many weeks ago, before I figured out what was going on with the illegals being on the platform illegally, I'm like, wow, now I get it. Now I'm seeing what's happening here. And I'm like, wow, I'm just blown away, Don't blame the immigrants, though. They're just trying to live decent lives. I understand they're trying to, leave a bad situation in their country, in this case, Mexico, right? Or Colombia, right? There are a lot of Colombians doing this too. But, you know what? Like, my parents came here from Greece, and they did it legally. They did it legally over 50 years ago, right? Like, why should we make exceptions to the rule for people, right? And DoorDash has been letting them get away with this because these people will work for pennies on the dollar, where most of us won't. We can't afford to, right? As a species, we should be providing between quality of life in these countries so they don't want to immigrate. Well, here's the thing, dude. It's not our responsibility to fix the issues their government has, right? So that's not fair. It's not fair for us Americans here to pay the price for the mistakes of, other countries and the way their governments run. That's not cool, man. That's absolutely not cool. It's not fair to me that I have to struggle because of this, right? I bet if the roles were reversed, the illegals, if they were on the flip side and we were on their end, they'd be pissed off at us doing the same thing they're doing to us, right? Come on, man. LOL California, sorry, it's so rough for you out there. It's not rough, but could be better, People are lying, and don't tell them your earnings, okay? Why do you think people would lie about their earnings? So they can attract YouTuber fame easier and make more money on YouTube? That's the truth. That's what it is. What you mean to say is that you're about to drop DoorDash as a client? No, I'm about to quit driving for DoorDash. It's not worth my time. I'll do something else, right? I'll do something else. There are many other things I can do. The reason why I did DoorDash and Uber Eats, it's very, very flexible. And I wanted to be available. I want to be available to be able to take my lady to her doctor's appointments and things like that. Right, baby?
Yes, baby.
Hi, my love.
Hello, my love.
My love is here right now. How do you feel, babe?
So great.
Love you, baby.
Really good.
Love you, baby. You're great.
I love you.
Yeah. It's a wonderful, wonderful woman. Wonderful woman, and she's getting more and more healthy every day. Those of you that know my lady, she's gained some weight. She's like 116 pounds now. Used to be like 103. And I'm just really, really happy that I'm able to finally get her the right doctors and the right care compared to what she had in the area she used to live in. And that's why I was doing that's why I've been doing the DoorDash thing, to bring in extra money, to help her during a time where, she needs the help. She would do it herself if she could. Anyway, in my opinion, multi-appers should be getting the orders faster. You're paying everyone nothing to hang around. You should use people when they're available, or you won't have them when they're busy. People who don't multi-app are always available. That's true. That's a good point. And I multi-app. I use Uber Eats, and I also obviously use DoorDash. I'm also on the wait list for Grubhub, and I'm on the wait list for Instacart. And I'm also on the wait list for Amazon Flex, I believe is what it's called. So, I hate being on these long wait lists, but quite honestly, I actually respect it, because once you get in, at least you're going to have orders, unlike on DoorDash now, where they let everyone come in and the market gets flooded and oversaturated. Then there's no business for anyone, right? There's nothing for anyone to do. Quit DoorDash. Intent is not enough. You've got to do it. Maybe so, man. Thank you for your feedback. Can I have your stuff? No, come on, dude. I'm going to keep my bags. You never know. Like, just because I stopped doing DoorDash now, I could say, hey, in a year from now, if it gets a little better, I may go out for a couple hours to make $50, right? you always want to have things to fall back on. Like I'm a retired insurance broker, but I still renew my licenses every 2 years. I can fall back on that anytime. Once you get involved with something like an independent contract type of thing, keep a good name out there for yourself. Don't make any mistakes, right? And if you're going to stop doing it for a while, aka quit for a while, it doesn't mean you permanently quit. It means you can come back anytime if you need to fall back on it, right? Right, baby. Yeah. Get in there, baby. Past few months, DoorDash has been overhiring. The economy is also trash in conjunction with prices going up everywhere, straining customers. That is very true. Eggs have gone up. Gas is creeping back up again. Gas went down, but now it's coming back up. It's almost $5 a gallon again in the Bay Area. If you go to restaurants now, if you go to fast food restaurants now, like at McDonald's, in the past, an order that cost you $15 is now costing you $25, right? Like I've literally seen the cost of even fast food restaurants almost double. Oh my God, it's just... And then you put DoorDash fees and tips on top of that. Oh my. I've learned a lot being a part of this business for the last 2 months. And that's why I'm talking about on my channel. I'm a business and personal success coach. I do both. It's a recipe for going from $20 an hour to maybe $10 an hour as a dasher. You got to find a new spot or a new gig or a new job. I think it's time for a new gig. That's what it is. I don't see DoorDash being around for that much longer. And DoorDash has never been profitable in the way they're doing things. They will probably never be profitable. Never. Not the way they're doing things. All right. Got a couple more here. Same subreddit r/DoorDash_drivers. I made a posting a couple days ago. Do you feel DoorDash has hired a ton of new drivers over the past month and oversaturated many markets on purpose? I wrote, DoorDash seems to have hired a ton of new drivers over the last month. I think they did this on purpose so older, well-seasoned drivers quit, and that way DoorDash can stop cherry picking, meaning that you select offers that are only good and you decline the crap offers, right? Okay. The crap offers, lowball offers or no tip offers, right? I'm lucky if I now get 1 to 3 offers per hour, and most I decline. Lately, I've been getting maybe 1 decent offer every 2 to 3 hours, where just 1 month ago, I was getting about 2 decent offers per hour. They want these new drivers to take all the lowball, no-tip offers that us seasoned drivers decline. This really sucks that DoorDash is doing this. I just don't see this as a feasible business anymore, unless this changes. Someone please change my mind or view. Wow, this posting got 10.7K views. I wish my YouTube channel would get the views my postings get on Reddit, man. Jesus Christ. Looks like nobody's chatting in the chat. Okay, that's cool. That's totally cool. And it's late, too. People will watch this more so on the replay. DoorDash likes to try to control the market, but they fail to factor in equilibrium. The market is more like a force of nature, like the weather. The market will move in the favor of the drivers when the rest of the monkeys get shaken out of the tree. Well, that's true. That's true. When you get people that are new, that come in and fall for the BS programs like Top Dasher and Acceptance Rate, Diamond Program, and all that, and then when you get well-seasoned people like Pedro DoorDash Santiago channel that was once sharing the truth and now is putting out fluffer content saying that stuff matters, it really confuses people. I'm here to stop the confusion and give you the facts, so you can succeed in whatever you want to do. If you want to work DoorDash, okay, this is the truth about what's happening. The older drivers are the monkeys that are being shaken out of the cherry tree. Well, they're trying to. They're trying to get rid of us so they can get new drivers that don't know the system. So again, they can take the low ball, no tip orders. That's what it all boils down to, right? But why can't DoorDash, politely, tactfully state to their customers that, hey, tipping your driver more effectively transports your order or something like that. They can professionally put it out there, but they don't do that. Uber Eats kind of does that. And Uber Eats, like I ordered from Uber Eats the other night, And they even thank you for tipping your customer. Like DoorDash does not send you a thank you for tipping your customer. And as an Uber Eats driver, when you're delivering an Uber Eats order, you have the option of sending a thanks to your customer for the tip. And I do that every time. Why won't DoorDash do that? DoorDash doesn't focus anything at all on the driver. At least Uber Eats does. I have a lot more respect for Uber Eats than I do for DoorDash. And by the way, Uber Eats has been even better for me lately than DoorDash. I've been getting better orders on Uber Eats lately than DoorDash. Nice try, Top Trasher. I don't know who that was written to, but oh well. The cherry picker versus top dasher war is so cute, wholesome, and adorable. We should get together with water guns and water balloons and have a cookout, to be honest. Yeah, I would join you on that. That's pretty hilarious there. Give me a second here. I forgot to check my audio after coming back from break. Give me a second. Just not send you a thank you for tipping your customer. And as a Uber Eats driver. All right, we're good. We are good. I'm over it. We need the doo-doo heads to pick up the trash. It is the natural order of things. This person says cutie. I honestly do not have an opinion. They may do that intentionally or they may not. No, they do it intentionally. They want people to take the trash orders because the majority of orders that come through these platforms are no-tip trash orders. And for DoorDash, all that matters is that they get the orders delivered, right? They're getting their 15 to 30% from the merchant as long as the orders are delivered, right? That's all that matters to DoorDash is somehow they deliver these orders, whether they have a tip on them or not. That's why people are saying they don't care about their drivers. And as a matter of fact, DoorDash had their fourth quarter earnings conference call last week. And it was broadcasted live here on YouTube by another channel I follow called Your Driver Mike. And he's a great channel that shares a lot of great DoorDash and gig economy content. And he was even saying, yeah, they didn't mention one thing in this report for the fourth quarter regarding Dashers. They talked about everything else, but they didn't mention the Dashers. So obviously, I'm not saying they don't care about the Dashers, but you know, the Dashers are a very low priority. They're like, well, we can just replace Dashers. We can just, advertise and get new Dashers anytime. Okay. All right. Get rid of all your well-seasoned Dashers and see where your customer service goes. And see how much your business implodes. With that said, all the gig apps benefit from the oversaturation of drivers. Yeah, because there's a greater chance that someone's going to take the trash order. And every time someone declines a trash order, DoorDash adds 25 cents until someone accepts it. And if more and more people decline it, the more base pay DoorDash has to add to that order. And at some point, that order becomes not profitable to DoorDash. That's the problem there. What would fix that? Getting customers to tip more. That would subsidize the base pay, and that would fix the issue. But DoorDash doesn't want to see it that way. That's the truth of the matter, at least in my opinion. The more drivers currently logged on, the less likely it is to have to surge pay on any order. Well, here's the thing. They may offer you peak pay, an additional $2 on top of the regular base pay, but then they lower the base pay to offset the peak pay. It's a game, dude. Come on, man. Actually, this might be a chick. It's purple. So it's a game. Okay, it's all a game. If there are enough fucking idiots out there, they will take anything and everything. That's true. And that's what DoorDash counts on. It also benefits the customer because low tippers or no tippers will get their food faster. Not for me anymore. They'll get a decline from me. It sucks for us. Right. I agree. I would think they have to have some type of balance since most gig apps have a waiting list. Right. Like I said, Grubhub has a waiting list. Instacart has a waiting list. Amazon Flex has a waiting list. The only ones that don't have a waiting list are DoorDash and Uber Eats. Let's see. I would think, I would think if they oversaturate too much, it would have many negative side effects. The moral of the drivers would be lower, or the morale of the drivers would be lower than it is now. And that leads to things like more theft and dishonesty of any kind. Well, here's the thing. DoorDash can replace drivers, easily, right? But what DoorDash can't do is stop people from calling out their BS on the internet, right? Like we're doing, like many of us are doing, right? And the more and more that people talk about this, the more and more it spreads around, and the more and more people are going to say, hey, look, I've had enough. When I first started driving for DoorDash, I was taking trash orders because I thought the acceptance rate mattered, right? And once I started watching these videos, and then even with a 92% acceptance rate, I started getting trash orders that I had to decline. I realized it doesn't matter. But I would have never known about the games unless people were talking about it. So I think the only thing DoorDash really worries about is what people say out on the internet. This is what affects them. That's why we talk about it. Customer service behaviors from Dashers would be negatively impacted, and examples would be lack of friendliness, professionalism, poor performance, such as improperly handling food, not following delivery instructions, and more negative interactions towards restaurant workers. Yeah, a lot of these illegals, they're not going to be able to afford to get the hot bags, or they won't use them. They can't speak English to communicate if something's going on. That does affect the orders from being delivered. That's what DoorDash doesn't get, right? DoorDash may be able to get the illegals to take the crap orders, but what if there's an issue delivering the order en route, and the driver can't communicate with the customer because they don't speak English? It's going to all implode. Trust me. If DoorDash doesn't fix this issue and turn things around, I will tell you that the company's going to implode. I think it's already going to implode because the CEO of DoorDash, Tony Xu, a 39-year-old millennial dude, I believe him and some other executives have already announced, and they have to do this legally before they do it, they've already announced that they're going to be selling some stock soon. That's telling me that they're selling now before the whole thing implodes. So I'm just saying, I don't know. I don't know how much longer this is going to be around, or if they sell the company. And I was also mentioning that if DoorDash is going to survive and they're going to sell the company, I think the only company that could save DoorDash and make it profitable and make it work is Amazon. That's just my opinion there, but we'll see what happens. Excuse me. Damn, all serious issues now. They better not lower current morale of us Dashers. Sorry, I had to check something real quick. I was looking at my security camera. You just gave your opinion. Yeah, we did. With all the scummy malicious BS I've seen them pull, I refuse to believe anything is unintentional. From their shitty app working 10% of the time to kicking you from a scheduled dash, I've just had them steal money from me. So it is not accidental. I haven't had that many problems with the app here in California, but I also have an iPhone. I'm hearing that people on Androids are having more issues than on the iPhone. I hate to say it. I'm a PC guy. I'm not a big Apple fanatic, but I will say I've always had an iPhone and never an Android, and the iPhone is a far better phone than the Android. It is much more reliable. There's a lot less junk and spam, and it's almost impossible to get hacked on the iPhone. So that could be it right there. I really haven't had that many issues with the app here in the Bay Area on my iPhone 12 Pro Max. Let's see. DoorDash also just released Q4 reports, and it doesn't say jack shit about Dasher pay. Hell, anything Dasher related. I just said that. I agree. Big round of applause for that! They mention nothing about the Dashers. Yeah. Go figure, right? Excuse me. Meanwhile, the stock is doing not good. with a massive buyback not helping inflate said stock price. Yeah, they're hurting. They're not profitable. They're not profitable because, I hate to say it, Tony Hsieh, man, you're not a good CEO. No disrespect. Maybe you're a nice guy, a good guy, but you're not a good CEO, man. Not a good CEO. You don't know how to read financials, I guess. No, they know how to read financials. DoorDash is hurting. They are. They are hurting financially. Give me a second here. Excuse me, I had to clear my throat there. Let me see here. My lady is saying in the chat, respectfully, maturely, and professionally, all I will say is haters are going to hate because that's all they have in their pathetic, lonely lives. If you all have something to say it to me, not behind my back while rebroadcasting someone. You know what? I wasn't going to say anything because I really don't care. But, apparently my lady is watching a rebroadcast of my live stream. A group of people have been, rebroadcasting most, if not all, of my live streams and content for the last several years, going back 5 to 6 years. We don't talk about these people anymore. We do our own thing. We really want nothing to do with them. We really have nothing bad to say about them or anything, but for some reason, they continue to talk about us. And quite frankly, it's just really sad. It's really, really sad. And that's all I'm going to say. That's all the airtime I'm going to give them. And all I'm going to say to my lady is, I love you. I care about you. We've got a new audience. We've got new people. And we're not going to let anyone get in the way of what we're trying to accomplish personally and professionally. So thank you, babe. I appreciate that. All right. So let's continue here because I got to wrap this up soon because I want to spend some time with my lady and take a nice Epsom salt bath and snuggle up with her afterwards and do what lovers do, right? Let's see here. DoorDash doesn't care about their drivers being able to earn a living. DoorDash only cares about those orders getting delivered. That's what I've been saying. That's exactly. Then that's why they're going to go belly up because they don't care about the main aspect of what makes their business work, getting the orders delivered by us drivers. The more drivers in any zone, the more likely this will happen, especially if they're noobs who are terrified of the decline button. Oh, I love the decline button. Nah, I live off the decline button. I'll tell you that. Great points is what I put. I don't think everyone is terrified of the decline button. I started declining off the bat. So many crappy orders. $4 to go to McDonald's and drive down the road to an apartment. If I was starving, I would accept that offer. Sorry, if I was starving, I wouldn't accept that offer. Sorry about that. I guess I don't understand this. Why wouldn't you take the 10 minutes to make the $4 if you're going to be sitting around and not making anything and wasting 10 minutes in gas? I have never declined one, and I never will, despite how annoying some may be, and I average 26 an hour. Well, you're one of very few people that is averaging that amount of money during a time where I'd say 99% of dashers out there are struggling to even make $13 to $15 an hour, if that. Because we can sit in the parking lot waiting for good offers. Better to take 2 offers per hour that take you 15 minutes and make 26 an hour than to take 5 offers. Better to make 200 on 15 offers over 8 to 10 hours than 33 offers to make 200. Right. It's true. And the reason is because the more offers you take, the more wear and tear you put on your car, the more gas you burn. That's where it is, right? Right? So sometimes, waiting for good offers is the right thing to do. I mean, it actually is the right thing to do because, again, one of the biggest expenses you have is gas and wear and tear on your car. Wait till you have to get new brakes, new tires, right? New spark plugs, whatever, right? That's what people don't get. The people that accept everything and do twice the orders to make the same money as half the orders, you just don't understand good business practice. You don't understand the expenses that are involved. And DoorDash won't tell you that. They don't tell you. They just say, hey, what do you have? Do you have a car? Do you have an e-bike? What do you have? Right? You cannot average 26 an hour not declining anything. That's true. That's absolutely true. Make $4 to go 5 miles down the road. Do some math. Right. No, I get it. That makes sense. You don't average 26. You're not factoring the loss on taking low-paying orders, and therefore are only looking at your intake. When you factor taxes, gas, maintenance, and the fact taking those shitty orders leaves the better ones or the better orders for people like me who are selective, you are probably realistically averaging around 11 an hour. Amen. Big round of applause for that. Big round of applause. I just said the same thing in different words. That's what it's all about right there. People do not understand that the more orders you take, the more wear and tear happens to your car and the more gas you burn. You're less profitable taking more orders. You want to make the same money with fewer orders. That's the name of the game. And basically, you've got to cherry pick orders that are, in my opinion, $2 to $3 a mile. Every market shouldn't be taking orders any less than $2 to $3 per mile. And here in the Bay Area, because the cost of living is so high, this is what I do now. Now I've changed things up to the point of where anything from 0 to 3 miles has to be at least $3 a mile. If it's 4 miles, it has to be $4 a mile. If it's 5 miles, it has to be $5 a mile. And I won't take anything further than $5 per mile. Than 5 miles, Because remember, if you're delivering something 5 miles, and if I'm going up into the hills to deliver something, there's going to be nothing to bring back on the way back because there aren't any merchants there. So I'm driving back and burning 5 miles of gas coming back, doing nothing, right? And if my car is getting 15 miles per gallon on average, I'm burning 1/3 of a gallon just coming back. So I've got to get more miles, so more dollars per mile each additional mile I take. You have to look at it that way, folks, or you will not be profitable. Bottom line. All right. If not, losing money on $2.50 to $4 orders. Yeah, you don't accept orders like that. You don't. I wouldn't even accept a $4 order going a mile. I think the other day I accepted a $5.50 order going half a mile. Now, that's half a mile. That's, half a mile to take a $5.50 order. That's $10 a mile. That literally took me like less than 10 minutes between picking it up and delivering it and coming back. That's worth it, right? But you're not going to, I wouldn't even take a $5.50 order that's a mile or a mile and a half. It's just not worth it because even if you can do it in 10 or 15 minutes, you might have missed out on a $15 order after you just declined the crap one. That's the name of the game there. When that acceptance rate falls to 49%, it's Kermit the Frog right there. That's funny. Truth. It is a slap in the face. I can't make 20% of what I used to, and they have a $900 driver referral and are advertising everywhere, TV, social media, etc. It's criminal. It's not criminal. It's their right to do so. But yes, they are oversaturating the market on purpose because they want new people to take the crap orders us veterans won't take. I agree, is what I wrote in response. Even as independent contractors, we shouldn't be treated this way. I think at some point soon, this will come back to bite Tony Xu in the ass. Tony Xu, CEO of DoorDash. Last time I checked, God still runs the universe. And I wrote back and said, that's true. And it's not Tony Xu. Tony Xu, you don't run the universe. It's God. It's God, our savior, right? All I know is it makes me side money. Well, that's what it's supposed to make for all of us. But Are you making at least $100 a day, even in the month of February 2023, or are you making half of that or a third of that? Sure, they are out there with Fortune 500 headhunters just bringing in new drivers to get rid of the seasoned ones that turn everything down. They're not going out there with Fortune 500 headhunters. They don't need to do that. They put advertisements on TV and the internet and on YouTube, and people just sign up. They're not going to pay Fortune 500 headhunters. Were you being sarcastic there? Come on. They're not going to do that. They don't have to do that. No, it's slow season. DoorDash always slows down at the beginning of the year because people max out their credit cards over the holidays, or they make New Year's resolutions to eat less or save money. Things will start to pick up as it gets warmer and people start to get their tax returns. That's part of it. There's always been a slowdown during this time of the year from what I've seen in the past and read about and heard in the past in videos, but it is even worse than it's ever been. There's been something different done this year that's never been done. And many, if not most people, are saying that. My dude, has been slow for the last 4 months across all platforms. This ain't normal. I agree. Yep, I agree. Agreed, I wrote below. This is beyond a normal slowdown. DoorDash has completely changed the way they're doing things. It's the middle of tax refund time. Usually picks up. Been at this gig work thing 6 years now. This year is definitely not mimicking past years. Right. So in essence, what this woman is saying is that there's something different. There's something worse happening this year than any time before. It's not because the new year. It's because DoorDash charges stupid fees, and the economy is in a shit state right now and only getting worse. So customers tip less. DoorDash already pays trash, so they lower it. Yeah, DoorDash has lowered base pay. Definitely. They've lowered base pay by, I'd say, at least 25 to 30% on every order. Oh, at least. They were paying 25 to 30% more base pay before the last week of January. That's when everything started to change for me. The last week of January 2023. And now I caught them stealing money from work I've done today. The average order used to be 6.5, so 650 for 2.3 miles. Now it's 550 for 6 to 7 miles. Right. Not only have they lowered the base pay, they've also increased the amount of miles you have to go. You can't make profit doing that. I ordered food delivery the other day and compared DoorDash app to ordering straight from the website app of the restaurant, and DoorDash was about $8 more. Despite using DoorDash, even ordering directly from the website app, that was before tip. Now I tell people to order from the restaurant directly because they'll pay less. F DoorDash. I hope this crappy company sinks underwater and goes. They're going to go bankrupt if they don't change things. I'm telling you. They're going to go bankrupt. OFC, this has been their strategy for years. Cherry Pick Multi-App has worked the whole time through. Stay sharp. Now, there's something different going on than ever before, man. It's slow season, but before Christmas, they were doing referrals for $900 for new drivers to complete 250 deliveries in, I think, 90 days in my market. So I think that's why mine is oversaturated. Maybe that's why all are oversaturated. I mean, that's kind of what they do. It is a marketplace that connects drivers, businesses, and customers. People can't do this forever because a lot of us get tired of the repairs on our cars and look for something else. Therefore, DoorDash looks for more drivers. My 2017 Honda Accord has it has almost 51,000 miles on it. It still has low mileage. And even doing the DoorDash thing, because I don't go long distance and I'm very picky on orders I take that are profitable, I've kept low mileage on my car. So, I'm probably going to need new brakes soon. But besides that, everything else is still cool. And maybe some new tires soon, but that's about it. That's stuff I was going to need regardless of DoorDash. $900 referrals in my area, so decent incentives will attract more people. Right, of course. Yes, agreed, but I think there's more to it. They know us long-term full-timers are hell-bent on staying around, but I don't think they want us to leave. I think they want us to go dash the less desirable areas, or at least I'm thinking about doing that. So if that one of their intentions, we play DoorDash. So if that's one of their intentions, we play DoorDash. Sorry, you left out the S and that's there. No problem. No, what they want is to constantly recycle. They want to constantly recycle new drivers so they are more gullible to take these shitty 250 orders. I agree. They don't like cherry picking. That's why they'll pause or end your dash if you decline too many bad orders. There's no other reasoning behind it. Yeah, I've seen they tried doing that to me a few times. I've gotten that we pause your dash for 10 minutes. You can resume anytime. They let you resume right away. But I think if you continue declining after that, before accepting another order, they'll end your dash, which they shouldn't do that because you're an independent contractor and you can accept and decline any orders you want. But they also, can go without sending you orders if they don't want to. Hey, you. How's it going?
How are you?
I'm great.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're not going to distract me. I'm running a show.
Love you.
I love you too. You look great, by the way.
Thank you.
Yeah. Don't let the trolls get to you, baby. We're just having
I know.
we're just having fun, right?
We're having fun.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
I'm gonna let them know.
Oh, it's all good. All right, baby. Love you.
Love you.
I'll be done in about 10 minutes or so. They want several dashers in front of every restaurant. And I wrote, why would they want that? To take every order right away, including the shit ones? Exactly that. Yes, they only care about orders getting delivered, not the drivers. Yeah, I have an 80% acceptance rate and got 2 offers at lunch today in 3 hours. Uber Eats is saving my bacon right now. Yeah, exactly. Uber Eats has been much better for me than DoorDash lately. And then I wrote below, I've been doing better on Uber Eats lately as well, but still nowhere near what I was making 4 weeks ago and before this time. It is interesting for me to see there are many people experiencing this, and it's not just me. Do you plan on still working these apps, and do you have another strategy, right? January, February is always slow. Yeah, and I understand that January and February is typically slow, but it is even 2 to 3 times slower than it's always been in previous years in January and February. That's what we're saying. We understand it's going to be slower than usual in January and February, but it's even slower than it normally is during this time of the year compared to previous years, right? Best to quit. Save yourself the mental anguish. Well, I mean, that's, yeah. I mean, I don't know how much longer I'm going to do this or if I'm just going to keep going out for a couple hours during lunch and dinner each night. I'm looking at other opportunities and stuff right now, and I'm going to start creating more YouTube content. My lady and I did pay off most of what we needed to pay off, which is why we started doing this initially. So, we've caught up for the most part on the bills we needed to catch up on, but we may still do this to, put a little more money up the side because we're going to have some other bills coming up soon too. So. Anyway, let me see. I'm thinking about it. People are saying DoorDash has never been this bad. And then this person says, just do it. All gig apps do this. Well, most I see. Is that I see Instacart? GB is what? Are you saying, is that supposed to be Grubhub? DoorDash, the reason behind it is more experienced drivers know their value worth, so will decline shitty offers. While the less inexperienced don't know how this works yet, so they take anything and everything and in their minds believe they are winning versus the experienced drivers. No, they don't want you to quit. They prefer you to take a few deliveries each week. Every one delivery helps. It's silly to think they want you to quit. They don't got to pay you to log into the app and wait for delivery. This idea is silly. Well, yeah, I mean, anyone can take high-paying orders. Anyone will take high-paying orders. Right? Or orders that are profitable. It's the ones that are not profitable that they want people taking, right? And again, the seasoned drivers have learned to not take orders that aren't profitable. So they got to keep bringing new people in so they take the non-profitable orders until the new people figure out they're losing money and they stop taking them. It seems to be a vicious cycle. That's what it is. And they could come up with a better, different way to fix the whole problem. Okay? Like encourage more so for customers to tip, like Uber Eats does. Let's see here. No, it's not. And that's not true. They want seasoned drivers to either start taking low-paying orders or to make room for new drivers who don't know better. That's why they are offering $900 for new drivers who take a certain number of deliveries. It is also no surprise. You start taking low-ball orders, you frequently start getting more low-ball orders. This company is scummy and corrupt, which is why they are stealing, or are still stealing. Had it happened to me today. They pay us drivers literal pennies, but their higher-ups and tech guys a ton. Yet their crappy app still doesn't work. The sooner you accept this company doesn't care about you, the sooner you'll be better off. I never said they cared. I think of them as cockroaches. You can squash them, but doesn't help. There's so many. It does help if you're actively not working for them. Just because there are many more doesn't mean you shouldn't deal with the ones you can get rid of. Mail carrier. I can confirm in Charlotte they hired a bunch lately as I am delivering 3 to 4 starter kits daily. Wow. Seems like they hired a bunch of asshats recently. I'm not going to read through the rest of this, but, I think you get the point there. Let me see if there's anything else noteworthy here. Interestingly, I can only speak for SoCal. It appears places that were teeming with gig deliveries in the past, i.e. Chipotle, Chick-fil-A, and other busy restaurants with quick orders in dense urban Los Angeles and San Diego areas. Now I can eat a meal for an hour right before mealtime and probably not encounter any gig pickups as I did before. Though also keep seeing posts that DoorDash or other apps seemed dead since 2022. I pretty agree with them. I was in Gaslamp of San Diego yesterday, but it was dead despite being heart of the red. So basically the app was showing it was busy and it wasn't, because they want people out there in case an order comes up and it's a crappy one. It's more likely someone will take it before DoorDash has to keep adding money to the order after many people decline it. I get it. Yes, prices are ridiculous these days, and since gig companies cut pay and expect customer tips to make up the rest, all credibility of tipping on the app went out the window, since even if they reverse the policy. This English is not his first language, but I get what you're saying there, man. Yeah. All right. Let me see here. There's I'm not going to go through the rest of these. I think you folks get the hint. There was one aspect I really wanted to go over before calling it a night here. Well, let me go over this one real quick because there aren't a whole lot of comments here. Wow. My latest posting, 15.3K total views. Wow, man. Reddit is really, really phenomenal. I should have been using Reddit a lot more over the last 5 years. And I've been a premium member of Reddit, a paying member, because I support the platform. I love it, for like 5 years. Wow. Okay. Why does DoorDash have a $2 peak pay when it is not busy in my area and can't even dash now? WTF. And I posted this. Like, look at this. This was at 9:50. Okay, this is at 9:50 in the morning. I was scheduled to dash at 10:30. But there's peak pay currently. You see down below here, right? Promo. $2 peak pay until 11:29 a.m. But it's not busy in this area. But we have openings later today for when it gets busier. It's all great. Look at that. So why are you offering peak pay when you can't even dash now and it's not busy? I don't get it. That does not make any sense to me. I just don't understand it. Because F drivers, F regular drivers, top dashers. Honestly, though, PP is rarely good in my market. Did you mean DoorDash? I don't know what you meant there. You didn't write that well. I hate peak pay. I'm beginning to hate it too. I'm beginning to think it's another gimmick. I'm beginning to hate it too. It makes zero difference. DoorDash just uses it as one of its games, LOL, just to piss you off. Serious answer, because other dashers sign up and the area becomes oversaturated. Busy is not orders. Busy is orders divided by dashers. Right. Makes perfect sense to me. And thank you for sharing. I wish you an awesome day. Busy means crappy rejected orders that no one wants. Okay. That's what the consensus is there. Now, there was something that I wanted to share here. Let me see here. I get top dasher because I do a lot of shop and pay. My acceptance rate is 8%. Yeah, right now they're giving top dasher to, I believe, any dasher that accepts and completes at least 10 shop and pay orders. So I wrote back and said, cool, how good are your shop and pays? Good money, low mileage, low number of items? And they go, so I'm in SoCal, Southern California. Most orders I take are 10 to 20 items, a few miles for $15 to $25, so much better than Instacart. I multi-apps, so whoever hits first and best tip I take. And I wrote back, how long does it take you to shop those 10 to 20 item orders? I never heard back from them because the bottom line is the more items you have, the longer it's going to take you to shop and find them, right? And if there are many items out of stock, you got to deal with substitutions. If the customer hasn't selected substitutions, you got to message them through the app or call them. And honestly, shop and pays, unless they're just a few items, maybe 5-6 items max, it's a pain in the ass. I wouldn't do them. They do pay more, but obviously they pay more because of the degree of difficulty, right? Let's see. So they seem generous, like peak pay is real. LOL, I put. Very few things about this company are logical. I could not have said it better myself. Thanks for sharing and have a great day. I did the Palo Alto peak pay lie once, never again. And this is where they mentioned Palo Alto. Here's what I wrote about Palo Alto. It's a couple cities south of where I'm at. That's where Stanford University is at. I'm right next door to Palo Alto, and there's daily peak pay there. I will never dash there because of the cheap-ass Stanford students that never tip. I've done one delivery to Stanford University. It had no tip, and parking at the university is a pain in the ass. I think people don't dash there or want to dash there because of the college campus, and that's probably where most orders go to. It's just a difficult city to navigate, and it is. It is. For a brief time last night, we had 2 peak pay, $4.50 and $1.50 that stacked. So for one order, I got $6 peak pay in the ice storm, LOL. People were ordering the dumbest stuff last night. I drove in an ice storm to bring a guy 1 Arby's shake. He tipped $6 and extra $4.50 peak pay made it worth it. But how can he rationalize paying $16 for a shake? Jeez, $16 for a fucking shake, man. I go, fuck, man, $16 for a shake? I wouldn't pay that much for a shake even if I was rich. That's ridiculous, but great money for you. Congrats. LOL, right. $16 for a shake. Who in their right mind would pay $16 for an Arby's milkshake where you go in the store, you're going to probably pay what, $3-4 for it? Maybe $5? Wow. $16 for a milkshake, man. That better be the best damn milkshake I ever had in my life. Too many top dashers. And then I said, too many dashers and illegals in general. Let me see here. If I can find that one part there. Let me see. Where was that one part that I wanted to share? All right, I can't find where it's at, but I really need to wrap this up soon, so I'm going to go back to full screen and start wrapping this up. We're at 2 hours and 37 minutes, a lot longer than I thought we would be. And I know, Whoosh Whoosh, you were asking for my earnings. I'll get to those in a second here. But here's something. I'm not going to put this on the screen, but I'm going to read this. Let me see. See if I can find this. Give me a second here. Anyway, I can't find this article now, but I was sent this on Reddit by somebody somewhere, and basically, there are a lot of people out there that are stealing people's identities and selling them to illegals so they can get on the DoorDash app, and they do this so they can actually work in this country under someone else's identity. And a lot of these people are flooding the market. That's why you're dealing with a lot of Dashers that don't speak English. And that's a major problem that DoorDash has been having. And again, they're trying to fix it. At least I hope they're trying to fix it by doing something similar that Uber Eats has been doing for a while. And that's using biometrics to scan your face every now and then to verify it's actually you using the app, right? So I think that's part of the problem. I think that's one of the bigger problems that I'm dealing with. If we got all of the people illegally using the DoorDash app off of DoorDash, I bet you that would open up a lot more orders. Yes, it would still be slow during this time of the year, but I'm sure we would get at least twice as many offers as we're getting now and be able to survive the storm until it picks up again. But anyway, let me just go over my February earnings for Whoosh Whoosh real quick, and anyone else that cares, then I'm going to go off the air here. So I'm not going to show us on the screen, I'll just read it. Okay. So on DoorDash in February, so January 30th through February 5th, I made $284.28 on DoorDash. February 6th to February 12th, I made $312.67. February 13th through February 19th, $231.51. And so far, February 20th through February 26th, we're halfway through the week. I've only made $14.75 on DoorDash. It's been very slow this week. Very slow. Okay, and I've been out there, but it's been very slow. Now, I think this week I've made much more, well, I made more money on Uber Eats. So on Uber Eats, because I multi-app, so this week, February 20th through 27th, I've made $73.96 on Uber Eats. So if you notice, I've made a lot more money on Uber Eats this week. Previous week, let me see. February 13th through February 20th, I made $138.43 on Uber Eats. The week before that, February 6th through 13th, $96.56 on Uber Eats. And January 30th through February 6th, $122.06 on Uber Eats. So, I'm probably still making about $200 to $300 per week, but I'm multi-apping on Uber Eats and DoorDash. And it's extreme cherry picking. And I'm only actually working the lunch rush and the dinner rush. And a lot of times, the lunch rush is a little busier than the dinner rush. And the dinner rush, I get maybe one or two orders, and then it's like it just dies down. It's just been horrible. So there you have it. I spoke my piece. I shared everything as honestly and ethically as possible here tonight. I hope you folks got some value. I don't know how many people are going to watch this on the replay. We didn't have the hugest turnout here live, but hopefully more people will watch this on the replay. If you are watching this on the replay, please comment in the comments section. Let me know what you think. You can also email me, Coach Eli at coach@eliasmelas.com. I'm also open to collaborating with anyone in the gig economy space to talk further about this. Pedro DoorDash Santiago, I'm open to talking with you, bro. But I think you've got your own agenda, and hey, hopefully you figure out what works for you and what's going to keep you afloat. Hopefully, you realize that, hey, the way you're handling it right now is probably not going to be sustainable long term, but that's up to you to decide what you want to do. But I'm open to talking with you. I'm open to coming on your show or bringing you on mine. I'm open to collaborating with anyone. So that is that. That being said, thank you to everyone for being here. Thank you to Chemist Chaz for being here earlier. You're a lady. Sorry for calling you a guy. Thank you to my beautiful, amazing lady, for also being here respectfully, maturely, and professionally. Love you, babe. I'll be right in the other room, and we'll be spending, some time bathing and snuggling a little bit. And to everyone else that was watching, thank you for being here. I wish you all the best. I really hope this changes. I hope everyone out there finds a way to, make it through this rough economy and have a very happy, healthy, and prosperous life. With that being said, have a good one. Take care. And as always, be good to each other.